Welcome, everyone, to the last lap. Back again. I've got Charles Leclerc in my ear. He's checking out his bottoming. Pause. Welcome to everyone on YouTube watching live. Don't forget, like. Get the like in early doors so we don't have to remind you later. And welcome back, Niran, mate. My humble co-host, back from Zandvoort.
Yeah, back from the land of the orange.
Yeah.
Man, it was crazy, not going to lie.
Good time?
Yeah,
Good
it was
time?
great. Solid Grand Prix as well. Bit of a slow burner in the end. Good coverage, loved that. If you liked it, if you enjoyed it at home, make sure you like and subscribe. But yeah, no, great, pretty decent Grand Prix. And good experience.
Not only you, but one of today's guests joined you last weekend at Zandvoort. But we brought him here today.
Hello.
It's Aarava TV.
Welcome. Hello.
Welcome, mate.
I said welcome to you. Well, welcome to you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Niran came back with the weight reduction as well. Have you noticed?
Yes.
Yeah.
The trim.
I'm streamlined.
The teams are reducing weight and he's reducing weight.
Yeah. I'm less draggy right now.
Famous trim.
Yeah, the famous trim.
Totally. Yeah, no, Zandvoort was good.
Yeah.
Sweltering. So it's nice and cool here, and I'm ready.
Oh, it's lovely in aircon.
Chaos.
Lovely in
Inevitably
aircon.
some Ferrari bottling, probably.
We'll see.
Yeah,
well,
totally
I'm sure Niran, our other guest, might be able to give us a bit more insight on that, because when it comes to wheel knowledge, you like to think it was in your job spec, mate. Surely.
The absolute maximum. We've got Blake here on the show. Excellent Red Bull. How are we doing, my friend?
Spectacular. Welcome to the show as well.
Thank you very much.
We're both welcoming you to this show.
We're all too polite. We need to start throwing some mud, all right, at some point. Come on. Let's get it early doors.
I can take it.
Yeah. But Blake, first of all, kind of to anyone you can do. Tell us why we should listen to you, because I think this is the second weekend in the row. We might have some Red Bull bias. Disgusting.
Outrageous.
How dare you?
I think really what you guys are trying to do is make this probably one of the most biased shows on YouTube and potentially the entire internet. So you've invited me here.
But come on, what's your background, Blake?
So trackside performance engineer at Force India, then Red Bull for 3 years for Kvyat and then Max at the track. And then I went back to the factory to be a simulator performance engineer and focus on developing the cars.
Amazing.
So now I'm here with you guys, sharing some of my bias and maybe a little bit of insight, but I'm mostly trolling today, man.
Interesting. We'll see.
That's most of the knowledge is trolling. This is good.
Come on, I got to keep you guys on your toes.
Yeah.
Keep you on a tight leash, mate.
All right,
I feel like you're going to be trouble.
No.
But obviously this weekend, it's the Italian Grand Prix, the second time in Italy this year as well. Obviously, 2 Grand Prix in Italy, so well done. Monza typically delivers bangers. Now, it's one of them, you look at the track map and it's a pretty simple circuit, but I think the higher speeds, we saw it in the junior formulas. I mean, in Formula 2, we had about 9 cars not finish in the feature race. So Monza usually, lads, delivers, I think as a track, Monza's, it's a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a vintage track. It's good for overtaking as well, obviously, around here. We saw, some very decent F2 action already this weekend, even a bit in Formula 3 as well. So I'm hoping and hopeful for a good Grand Prix. As you can see, we've got the Trap Mac here. Trap Mac, you know.
Trap Mac.
Remix.
Trap. We've got the track map here. 2 DRS zones, very long straights, a couple big chicanes. I love Ascari and I love Parabolic around here as well. Some vintage corners.
It's a banger. And Aarav, obviously, with all your experience in the F1 game over the many, many years, where do you rate Monza from a kind of a gaming, like an esports point of view in terms of racing?
Well, okay, esports. It's in the actual esports.
Yeah, which obviously is your level, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And definitely.
I have seen this man many a time
driving at esports level speeds. For actual esports, the esports drivers actually find it quite difficult because you get in a DRS train, which can be an issue here sometimes. I think we've been spoiled maybe a little bit the last 2 years with crazy things happening, Hamilton 2020 having the whole penalty thing, Gasly going through. Obviously, last year was the crash, allowed the McLarens to be there. So we have been spoiled a little bit, but to be fair as well, 2019, Leclerc had to fight for that win, and fend off Hamilton. So there is some good action, but also there is a big worry of getting stuck in a DRS train, which is why Christian Horner was not that confident about Max storming through and wanted them to set it up for the race because they need everything they can do on that car to set up for the race, I guess, and something you'll maybe attest to, that they need to set up for the race big time for this.
Yeah, I think, but looking back at yesterday, most of the teams have pitched their cars in very similar top speed range, so the DRS train is a very real thing. And, you get in the toe will be a little bit effective, but they've got such little wing on the cars to begin with, so that'll be super interesting. The Red Bull standing out of having much more profiled wing, so they're running a little bit more downforce. So without DRS, they've got quite a bit of load on the car through the corners that the other teams have had to forgo. So Red Bull taking up quite a bit of downforce here, but with a very effective DRS. So I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I think they've got a good idea how it's going to play out, but we get to observe it here.
We'll see. And obviously, as a man who's been to all the tracks on the current calendar, where does, from an experience point of view, working behind the scenes in the garages, where does Monza rank for you amongst all the tracks, just in terms of enjoyment?
Yeah, in terms of enjoyment, it's interesting because Monza is actually one of the shortest duration Grand Prix. You know, it's roughly 300 kilometers or whatever, but you're full throttle the whole time.
Yeah.
So
isn't it?
the Grand Prix is actually very short. So if you're ready to, you know, if you've had a crap weekend, you know, and you've bended at turn one, you don't have that long to get to the end of the race. But it's a pretty cool experience that Tifosi are, you know, it's one of those places, like you're starting to see that now with Max Verstappen fans. You go to a lot of the European races and there's lots of orange. You go to Monza, it's Ferrari. It's Ferrari, and it's a very interesting atmosphere. It's very cool. The podium, very cool. I don't remember.
Probably one of the coolest podiums as well.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it's so unique, isn't it?
It's super iconic podium. So
yeah,
there's something special about this. And if this race goes off the calendar, that'll be a disaster.
That would be a shame.
The Temple of Speed needs to stay.
Yeah, obviously you spoke about the podium and how unique that is. What's your favorite Monza memory that you have from over the years?
I think I'm struggling to recall any amazing Monza memories. Maybe I've blocked out a whole series of events altogether, but my last time at the track in Monza was 2017, and maybe something good happened there, but that feels like
I feel like when you've gone
ago.
to so many races, you probably
How about
How
about when Gasly won? Because obviously AlphaTauri
sister team. But I guess that's an interesting thing because even though it's the sister team, you know, it is just a different team entirely. Yeah. I know very few of the people that work at the team. Obviously, from working in the simulator, we would see the drivers around now and then, and the guys. Gasly's a super lovely dude, super nice dude, humble, down to earth. But it was good. It was good to see him win. But as far as the team getting a good result, it was just another team had a good result, and it was cool to see Gasly.
It was,
yeah,
that was super cool.
That was such a it felt like the end of a redemption arc.
Yeah,
it felt like a really story being brought together.
Yeah, exactly that.
That definitely added
Hollywood.
to it. And I would say as podiums go to predict, and we'll get into predictions now. This is a tricky one, but we've all given it a go. We've given our top 5. We'll get them up on screen now. I think what we should do is get a poll and see what the people, which top 5 prediction the people agree with most.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing here is, apart from Blake, we have too much confidence in Ferrari.
We really do, and I'm just not
I don't know why we've got this confidence.
Come on, you've got a man. You've got a dream.
But it's their home race. They've wheeled out the special livery, and the special livery never fails to deliver results.
Yes, of course. And Mercedes well know that in 2019.
There's never ever been a time where a new livery has resulted in
But
results.
you should never attribute it to that because it's one of those things. Everybody has good weekends and everybody has bad weekends. If you've got a special moment and you want to celebrate it, you should do it and don't be superstitious. Come
McLaren,
on.
Monaco, podium, Norris.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's just the way you presented
Okay.
that sentence as just words.
Just
by the way.
information. It was in my head, and I just said it word after word.
Just facts. Norris, Monaco, podium.
You can do with those facts what you will, but here they are.
Downforce, hairpin, wheel.
Yes. Yeah, that could be any track.
Also, boys, what do we make of the Ferrari get up this weekend? New overalls,
the rear
new car.
wing, I actually think they should keep that retro Ferrari font on the rear wing.
They usually just don't have anything.
Yeah, no, it's
I
fine.
get it.
So they should just leave it on there, to be honest. Because they're not losing anything, not changing anything. The rest of it, I don't know. The helmet's not. The helmets complement the car really, really well in a nice way. But the yellow, I don't know. I think if they're going to do yellow, I personally would have wanted them to go even more.
Go all in.
Just
lean
go,
in.
Just go
lean into it.
Yeah, lean
car.
into it.
Just
go
give me a
centre.
yellow car, straight off the bat.
I agree. What about you, Blake? What do you reckon? Come on, this is your
hit or
speciality.
miss with it. Nah, it's livery's not really my thing. Performance
He's
this
just an
year.
engineer. He's like, I only care about the data. Going
Don't
quick.
care what
I don't
color
care what
it
it
is.
looks like.
Do they DNF or not? They've locked it in with qualifying. They had a great qualifying performance, but I think the car looks cool, and I think teams should be able to lean into these liveries.
Oh, yeah,
like you said, lean into it. Don't just.
I think they need to do more one-offs. Like it's really cool, and it's cool they put it in the game so early as well.
Yep,
that is
worked with.
true.
Yeah,
well done.
It worked with Cody's and EA. I think it's the second time because Red Bull did that for the Japan.
Yeah, the all white
The
one.
one-off one.
Elite one, by the way.
They worked with them. I don't know if it was too late in the game
So
because McLaren never did that with their Monaco one. But obviously, the Japan one was November of that year, so maybe that's from then on. Codemasters were open to like, oh, let's work with teams. One-off liveries. But yeah, it's awesome that literally the day after this race, well, tomorrow, it's going to be available in the game. So you can try it out for yourselves. Maybe try and rewrite history with the Italian Grand Prix if they don't do so well.
Interesting.
Is that your video lined up for next week?
No.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what he's talking
No idea. Not a Scooby, mate. No idea. Well, also, because I think part of the reason, from my point of view, I've got faith in Ferrari and Leclerc is because of all the penalties. Now, we've got a graphic prepared, and we'll get that up on screen shortly. That, I mean, how long did it take for them to work it out?
4 hours, allegedly. 4 hours.
Yeah, I was checking my phone. It was 8:55 p.m. UK time when they officially tweeted the actual full graphic of the grid.
So I just straight off the bat like to say, does anybody here understand how it's actually determined?
I think basically there was a really good graphic on Reddit where you basically take everybody, you have the grid, and you say, right, you take this person in the order in which they're applied, and I could be completely talking trash, but it looked like this. So you take them out of the arrangement and move them to where they go, and there's a bin for back of the grid, and the people that have 10, 15, Bottas had a 25, for example, which wasn't back of the grid.
He's starting an F2.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's starting on that, what was it, the lap to grid or the? He's starting in that thing.
He's in the gravel
He's in the old Bentley and the gravel trap out of the second chicane. But they basically take everybody out, figure out where they are. And there's people plus 25 back the grid, and then once they move all the places and put them into place, then they restack the grid, and that's where you start. So, but if you try to think take this guy, move him here, swap with this guy, that doesn't work.
But apparently Simon Wheatley was he was chatting to the stewards before, about an hour ago, and then they asked Max, are you starting P7? He was like,
I think. Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. I don't know.
Loads Gasly was tweeted last night, does anyone know where I'm
he
starting?
actually just doesn't know. When you've got the drivers taking the piss about it, you know that there's a problem. But what's the solution? This is the thing.
It's a difficult one
because
because
it's so unclear.
It's for cost capping, and I get that, and it's great because it's gonna make new brands and new teams want to join if they know that it's not gonna cost as much money. But it's ridiculous when we're getting to only the Italian Grand Prix. We're not even we're not at the end of the season yet, and we've already got 50% of the grid taking stupid grid penalties. So I don't know what.
Oh no, I mean, Corner's talked about it before, about the whole you can't. The suggestion from Brundle and Sky was maybe championship points taken off, but then you just get top teams like Red Bull this year. If they have enough points,
they can afford.
They'll just afford to take engine penalties. And Horner made a good point. Even for top teams, he admitted it makes things spicy because you do move down the grid. Maybe gives some names, some teams a chance to be up the grid. And I think there's a tactical nature. Obviously, every year it ends up being Italy and Spa because they can overtake so well. But there's a tactical nature maybe where you do the penalties in the year. So I think it works in a way, but it's a bit silly when it takes the FI just so long to work it out. They just need to shorten that window.
Or if you're Valtteri Bottas, you can actually just get a grid penalty every single Grand Prix, which is what's
or that. Yeah, if you're unlucky enough where things are just going badly wrong mechanically.
Well, I know that kind of Crofty's talked about there's a lot of potential solutions that have been kind of discussed, but this is seemingly the best one. But I just think that over time they will be able to bring reliability-related upgrades to the engines. So maybe that's part of it, maybe giving an extra engine. But I think most of it for me, Blake, is just it's not communicated, it's not clear on the screen.
Yeah, and I think in terms of determining the grid position, that's one thing, and that's all they need to do is have one of the great presenters do a quick thing to say, here's the breakdown. I mean, some people on Reddit put this together on their own time. So it's hey, guy on Reddit that did this cool graphic, can we license your thing to show people on screen exactly how this is? And then people are like, oh, that makes sense. And it's transparent. But since it's not, and nobody's thoroughly explained it, it's just one of those things where everybody's memeing about it, which is that good or bad? Because you're drawing attention to it. It looks a little bit Mickey Mouse, but is there anything wrong with that? But in terms of taking engine penalties and everything else, the teams are just thinking of this as an optimization game. You look at your performance relative to everybody else, and you say, okay, we've got a gap. They're literally, imagine doing a race strategy. It's how long do we use the soft? How long do we use the hard? And they're doing that over a whole season with their engine performance. It's the exact same thing. And it's well, okay, if we stop here, we take a pit stop. If we engine penalty here, we go back and we maybe give it this many points, but teams are going to...
Very tactical. I find that
Tactics.
interesting. I find it very interesting. I think that's like, I think if you got into taking away points, it kind of takes away that engineering side of them going, oh, let's look at the data. Where do we reckon our cars best suited to overtake and whatever. So I think what they've got right now is better. I think, like you said, just presenting it better and more transparency for people at home, maybe.
I think like on-screen graphics need to... I mean, you wouldn't have known watching qualifying yesterday unless you were... I mean, it was mentioned a few times, but there was nothing visual on screen to show that there was going to be a difference. I think there's a solution there somewhere.
It's because they didn't know at the time. Like, realistically, Crofty was like, I think Leclerc is on pole. I don't know that for fact.
But I don't understand why there can't be a system where this is all just built into something where you just put, okay, you've got that penalty, press, and then it just automatically...
I reckon
surely
they have
that's
that.
the thing.
I reckon they have that. It just takes them so long to publish the documents sometimes because they're waiting to see if anybody else confirmed power unit changes after Parc Fermé closed.
Right.
So after the covers went on the car, they're waiting. Like, does anybody have any declarations? Like, yeah, by the way, we're changing engine tonight. Okay, nobody's done that. We'll close that. Somebody hit the sort button on the Excel spreadsheet, and then... And then,
this is the insight we brought you in.
I think
he knows.
I think they knew what the engine penalties were going to be, and it doesn't take them that long to actually do it. They were actually just waiting for people to put the covers on the cars after qualifying to say, right, we didn't observe any issues, because you'll give them a heads up. It's like, hey, we're changing gearbox in the morning because we had an oil system issue or something qualifying. And those are the kind of things they're probably waiting for. Otherwise, you get 3 revisions of the final grid, and that's not fun.
in a way.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
The delay is
that's when it
fine.
gets even more confusing. At
The
that
delay
point.
is fine, but when you have 50 tweets going out of different grids, it's like...
It's not a good look, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Also, we need to talk about something else that's happened further down the grid. With my boy Alex, couldn't make it this weekend. Was it appendicitis?
Yeah, painful that. It can be very, very painful. As he said, negatives, missing out on what looks like a strong weekend for us, and pain. Probably a lot of pain. Yeah.
Bless him.
So, nasty one. And he has to have surgery. So that's, clearly very serious.
But he'll be fine. Nick De Vries has come in, and you've got to say this is an opportunity for Nick. There's been a lot of talk
and he's
around
already
it.
taken it in quali.
I
And
mean,
as you
let's
allude
talk about it, boys.
You know, as you alluded to just before we started rolling, like the whole, it's a different steering wheel column, for Williams, very different wheel because it goes kind of like V shape versus what he had in the Aston just before. And then also the Merc that he's tested before. So
he's tested everything, and he's rocked up in this Williams, and he admittedly had a mistake because he got confused. The same thing as brake magic in Baku was effectively what he did in that qualifying lap. Because when you see a rear lock like that, that's... If you're in roughly the right brake balance mode, you're not sliding the rear like that. There's no way. So, but despite the issue, he still performed very well.
He in Q1, even though his best time got deleted, still beat Latifi.
I think if you're Latifi, it's kind of like a writing on the wall situation. Nick De Vries is the guy that you're competing for realistically for that seat, along with
to have one
Logan
practice
Sargent.
session, one practice
such
session
late notice.
in this car, and then beating the person you're, having like an interview, essentially, like a live interview for to replace them. It's really, really poor.
Was he even there? Was he even in Italy at the time? Or did he have to?
No, he did an FP1 for Aston Martin, and then he was apparently having a coffee in the Mercedes on the other side.
You saw him being wheeled out in his Mercedes. It's like, hey mate, come change shirts real quick.
Quickly.
It's like one of those things. It's the interview. It's like, why do you think you're qualified for this job? And it's like, well, I just got qualified your regular driver.
Yeah.
I mean, that is...
Well, that's all he needs. That's actually it. Like, why do you think qualified? Well,
one-liner.
Yeah,
Bosh.
you're wasting so much potential of this car because this is what I can do versus him.
Yeah.
We don't know what you can do versus Albon, but it's probably going to be better than Latifi at least because I'm showing it.
I mean, if you can jump in the car on one practice session and beat him, then he can do it regularly across the whole season.
Exactly.
With multiple practice sessions.
Nick has fully earned the opportunity. You got to say that. F2 champion, Formula E champion.
Yeah.
Like
He's got the pedigree.
Yeah, you get a super license point for every FP1 session. I think you do as well.
He's collected all of them then.
I mean, he's just got. He's probably in 3 figures.
Which championship that's not F1 can I get on my wrist before I get into F1?
It's like bringing Formula 4 to the table. Just like, I've got that as well, boys.
If he gets an F1 seat, he might be, right now actually as an F1 rookie, he might be like one of the most decorated F1 rookies
Yeah.
I think he would be. I think he would
as
probably
an
be
FE
ever.
champion.
Yeah.
And F2 champion before, but I think FE champion's quite like it's a whole. I know FE you can debate, how good it is versus F1 and everything like that.
But it's a variety.
It's quite a big daddy championship.
Yeah.
Some good things going right.
Big Daddy champion.
Like,
is a big daddy championship.
in terms of electric racing,
Clip
it's
that off.
like the F1 of electric racing.
of course.
So it's not like I don't think you would equate it to F2 really. It's, I think a bit grander.
Yeah,
than that.
there's a lot
so
more
to be a
experience.
champion of that with Mercedes as a works team.
Yeah.
He's very
He's
high.
raced
genuinely
sports
very
cars,
good
I think,
drivers.
as well. I think he's got a big experience in like LMP as well. So I think, you've got a very well-rounded driver there. And I think if Williams are looking for as much as, yes, he's never driven a full F1 season, I think as technical rookies go, I mean, Nick's right up there. And
How old is he though?
he's
27.
Yeah, 27.
27. He's getting on there. What he needs to do is go do one of those F3 Asia series and knock one of the other guys out so they don't get the super license points. And he's like, what? What now? Those guys go into that series in the winter to get that last point they need for the super
What
license.
did you do in the winter break?
It's like-
Nothing.
Just stole a Euro or Asia F3 championship. No big deal.
That's the final Infinity.
Sorry,
That's
Cole.
the final one. That's the last
That's the
one.
smaller one.
Yeah, that's the one like on the wrist or something.
Yeah, I just think I don't think he's the most exciting driver necessarily for that seat. I think, chucking in a really young driver alongside Alex for next year would be maybe more exciting. But I think in terms of when we talk, I think we say deserved a lot, but I think earned is the better way. I think he's earned the opportunity, Nick de Vries. But let's have a look at the starting grid because fortunately for Nick, or unfortunately, I mean, it depends on how, I don't think he'll be intimidated actually starting up in P8.
It's an all-Dutch fourth row.
All Dutch champion.
Yeah,
as
true.
well.
Yeah,
Formula E
yeah.
champion, Formula
Guys.
1 champion.
Wow.
True.
It's good fun.
De Vries was the first Dutch world champion before Max, wasn't he? Because he won the FE title before Max.
first
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
FIA, that's it. There you go. But Leclerc,
Simply lovely.
Russell, look, Ricardo, Norris, P3, P4. They did a lot here last year.
Yeah, I was
At
gonna
1,
say.
2.
Well, someone predicted in the chat, saw this earlier, Leclerc, Russell collision into turn 1, McLaren 1-2 again. Could you imagine back-to-back 1-2s?
I just can't
we'd be rolling
see.
it.
I can't
I
see.
can't see it happening, but
Does
I
he
can
have any-
also kind of
See it
kind of
happening
it.
for no reason, yeah.
Zach's not getting any more tattoos off this weekend, is he?
Oh, I think he's learnt from his mistakes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's why.
Yeah, actually, no. If Lando wins, he'll get the Lando stamp that Ricardo got earlier in the
God.
weekend, where it was on his Adam's apple.
Oh God.
Looking at the
my God.
back end of the grid.
Well,
how
Vettel will be really happy with that. P11 from, what was it?
P17.
Dude, his radio message in Q1,
Every time.
weekend, it's getting more and more. Like, it's actually sad to hear it. It sucks seeing him go out of his last
So
season in
many
Formula 1 like
times
that.
he gets like on the cusp, and then he's like, "Is the same ready?" No. I'm like, it happens. Last time I was like, "Is that deja vu?" Because I'm sure I've heard this before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Blood,
pain, the
sweat, and
pain in
tears
his,
and-
the pain in his voice is apparent.
It's real. But I think I think this weekend, what are we saying the standout cars are? Because as much as the Mercedes and the McLaren are starting in very good positions, at least George anyway, Lewis is starting towards the back. But what cars do I think the Alpine? That's why I put Alonso in my top 5 because I think the Alpine's pretty rapid. And Alonso didn't even set a time in Q3 and is starting P6. So Magic Alonso back at it again.
Doesn't even have to try this dude.
Yeah. He's there just like, yep, P6. What?
He saw the Reddit post before qualifying. He was like, I don't need to do anything here, boys. I can just chill.
Alonso does the grid. You
Oh,
didn't know that?
yeah,
He's
the
got
one
the
doing-
spreadsheet.
He's the one doing like, right, I'm going to start here if you don't mind, and everyone else.
Everyone just move around me, please.
I'd love to see when he eventually retires, which will probably be in about 30 years. I'd love to see Alonso be like race director or something.
He'd be a savage.
That would be phenomenal.
He's cut
The
through.
No, the
penalties
thing
would
is,
just be boom.
he would have some sort of like, there'd be some sort of lineage to a junior driver that he just doesn't want to do well because of his dad's friend or whatever who's
Owes me
against
50
his-
quid.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton's son gets into Formula 1. He's like, 50-second penalties. Don't worry about it.
Oh God! Imagine no. I think Seb would be maybe Fernando wouldn't be the most level-headed.
Seb would be cool to see.
But I think Seb would be.
I think
be
also
sensational.
Fernando
Yeah.
just wouldn't be interested. I think he actually just wants to keep on racing as much as he can in other series. Whereas Sebastian, I think he's already said he's looking forward to doing nothing for a little bit and then see what he wants to do. So I think he'll be a great ambassador.
I think Seb would
Get
actually be
involved.
good at that once he's had a bit of a break because he's so actually invested and like knowledgeable in the sport. I think he'd be great at that, to be honest.
Yeah, totally.
But you had people like Rosberg. got the championship, dipped out, and then he's back in the paddock every weekend on TV. It's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Weird, wasn't it?
Nico,
he's like, I want to break from it, but maybe he's just wanted to break from the competition.
But that's the thing as well. I think it's easy to look at all these drivers and only think of them as, these are names within these are just the helmets within a car and they're driving around. But actually, I guess everyone's got their own reasons for wanting to stay, wanting to go, what they want their kind of legacy to be. I'm sure, when, again, Lewis is a driver who's, getting towards the end of his career, you've got to say, I'll be interested to see what he chooses to do, because I'd love him to keep a presence in Formula One. I think that'd be amazing. But whether he will or not,
I think he's one of those people that he's got so many interests outside of F1 and just sport in general that there's also a chance he just doesn't as well. So
there's such a variety. You've got, drivers like, Max, who you feel right now, he's just, everything's about racing. When he's not on an F1 track, he's on his sim at home.
Yeah.
But then that's not the only way to be successful. Like everyone's, and I think those characters are what we kind of buy into more as fans as we go on. But who are we hoping for this weekend? What would be our favourite winner each? Because, I mean, obviously Alex isn't about, so unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get a late
Alex
from the pit
21st
lane.
on the grid.
Nick's the safety car.
on the surgery bed, going along he's like strutting like this, like...
Too much scars in the appendix.
Come on, Alex. I believe you could do it. But no, who would we like to see do well here?
I mean, obviously, I'm biased. I would love to see Lando get himself on the podium somehow.
Because I really want a Ricciardo good result this weekend.
That's what I'm thinking, man. He's had a really tough end of the season.
Yeah.
His future's uncertain, and it's such a weird season for him, and see him down like that. I watched his Monza podium celebration, and that was awesome, seeing him smile like that. We haven't seen that in a long time, so I don't think it will happen. I don't think he's on Lando's pace this weekend, at least, especially wasn't during practice, but that would be pretty cool to see him have a good result.
Especially as it feels like the doors, like that Alpine seat looks like they want Gasly, if not maybe Doohan, and then it's Haas or Williams. You feel like he needs some good performances between now and the end of the year to really put himself in the shop window. Right?
I was going to say, this is basically a huge opportunity for him, isn't it? Realistically,
massive.
he's starting fourth on the grid. Like, if you can bring home a top 5 here or something like that, and really be on good pace with Lando, then someone like a Williams might actually look at him next season, or a Haas, and go, okay, yeah, we could actually consider him again.
Because I do maintain that I think the race pace hasn't been so bad. There's been races where he's been close to, if not, arguably a bit quicker than Lando, like Baku. I just think it's where he doesn't have that confidence in the car to nail it in qualifying. He's starting so far back that he's just getting caught in traffic, and then
it's just difficult sometimes. Just no matter how much pace you have, you get caught in traffic, it's going to affect the aero balance and everything like that. Dirty air. You guys talking about people doing well from the top of the grid. I'm just interested to see how Sainz and Hamilton do. See that difference. I think Ferrari seemed to have really good race pace actually around here. They were so confident about that. So it'd be interesting to see how far Carlos can get. And then also Hamilton, we've seen a few times, obviously earlier in the year when the Mercedes was really struggling, he just couldn't get past cars. Now maybe a little bit better. Can he attack? Can we see some of that old Lewis, large dive bomb down the inside of turn one? It'd be interesting to see how those two, they're starting very similar positions. So what the Ferrari v Mercedes pace would be like, because as you alluded to, they're very close in the championship.
So
it's getting awkwardly close.
Yeah, concerningly so, given the actual natural pace.
Considering how fast Ferrari were, to be only 30 points ahead of Mercedes is a little bit embarrassing.
It is,
man. Yeah, it would be pretty. Yeah, we've had the admin ask in the chat where we think Hamilton is actually going to finish. Lewis, what about you guys? Where do you think he's going to end up today?
I know I gave my prediction, but I seriously think we could see Hamilton on a podium.
Wow.
Ooh.
Seriously. Like, the car has enough pace in hand to come through the field. Everybody's pitched their top speed with DRS in a very similar spot. So they had, before the safety cars, they had a pretty good strategy on the one stop last weekend. It was going to work, but the car's good on the tires. Lewis is good on the tires. He's got a lot of pace in hand, and they had a bit of bad luck twice last weekend. And I'm not superstitious, but I think it comes and goes, and the points are there to take them.
Yeah, because I think Pirelli recommendations were one stops, and you've got Leclerc, Russell, Verstappen, De Vries, and Ocon all starting on softs, and then everyone else starting on mediums. So there's a few, I guess, Charles and George are looking to kind of run away at the start.
Strategy in terms of compounds?
So I guess it'll either be, it'll be soft or medium to hard, I imagine, if it's a one-stop, right?
Really?
So obviously Leclerc and Russell are hoping to hold on to their tyres.
Yeah.
Well, after playing a bit of F1 Manager, it's definitely a one-stop. I can confirm. But one thing we haven't talked about as they go off on their formation lap is De Vries. Where do we see De Vries finishing? He's starting.
I would love points for him.
That would be insane.
So much.
And Latifi was fastest in the speed traps.
That car's quick. That Williams is quick.
Yeah.
Look in a straight line.
Which will help him defend, right?
Yeah, but I just think they're going to get eaten alive in the corners for how little load they have in that. When you're going through the, Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2, that they're going to be super vulnerable down to Ascari. Then going into the final corner, they're going to get eaten alive.
But also, don't forget Nicholas is starting P10 as well. So, I mean, then as much as it wasn't a great qualifying from him at all, like he's still starting. And actually, Monza last year, I kind of made a bit of a bold prediction on Twitter earlier in the week about Latifi having a worldie this weekend because I think Monza last year was his best race we've seen so far from Nicholas.
So what you're saying is the GOAT is getting up to top 5.
Listen,
Latifi.
you got to be...
I'm hearing podium person.
Yeah. I'm actually hearing race win by a mile.
Yeah.
So
if I'm right and he has a good race, I'm going to be so smug. But it's not going to happen.
It's not
no, it is.
Somebody clip it.
Yeah, clip it now.
When he wins the race, get that out there.
Also, my jinx potential has been powerful this weekend.
What's your jinx?
He jinxed Albon into not even turning up.
But you've also given him some weight savings. You thought the haircut was a little bit of weight savings. Getting your appendix out, that's permanent weight savings.
That is actually a chunk.
My hair grows back. That doesn't grow.
Even in the F2 race, I was like, Liam Lawson's got a great opportunity here to have a worldie, and then he gets taken out by Yuri Vips, and I was like, sorry, Liam.
I don't know what it is. There's something in the air. I'm feeling Russell might be extra spicy at this opening lap and go for the lead.
I would absolutely love that. I'm not going to lie. I
just have a
love
feeling.
a little bit of spice.
What's he got to lose?
Yeah, exactly.
Front
Like Leclerc, he's got the pressure of, he's on pole for one, so just converting that, and he's not like Ferrari and him have not been great at converting their 8 poles to wins. He's got the pressure of the Tifosi who are already flaring out the flares early on. The race not even started.
They need to step up their flare game. That is so weak. Look at that. It's embarrassing, honestly.
The helicopter shot would be orange by now.
Exactly.
Charles got a lot of pressure there. So like you said, Russell has nothing to lose.
But again, Charles has won in Monza before. He knows how to deal with that expectation. So I reckon we'll see a good drive from Charles. And also, this is a good opportunity to like the stream and subscribe to the last lap, all right, before we start. Formation lap's just coming in now. Charles is just pulling up.
Yeah, if you don't subscribe right now, they'll cancel the formation lap. Everyone.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard. So.
Just what you heard.
Yeah, it's just what I heard on the street.
We're just speculating, okay?
A good journalist can't reveal his sources. So,
there's no facts on this show. It's just speculation.
Absolutely no facts.
Vibes only.
Vibes only.
No facts.
That's what he does on F1 Manager.
Vibes only. So right, we're doing a 3-stop, boys.
Look at the Inters. I saw one drop on every.
The Ferrari team really do look like, because all of the team are in the yellow. They do look like minions, don't they?
Yes.
Because they're all wearing yellow in the. It's fantastic.
Well, here we go.
Vibes. I hope they keep the yellow overalls. They're not gonna. But
They're not going to, but I would love that. That would be great.
I wanted the mini helmet. It's an absolute fortune. Right. Anyway, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Let's go.
Away we go. Awful start from Daniel.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He's got the
He's gone backwards off the line, I think.
Leclerc's holding on to P1 from George, though.
Oh, good defense from Charles. But Russell.
No, it's
was it Lando with a poor start? It was Lando, sorry, with a poor start.
Missed it.
Russell across the chicane.
Norris had a shot.
And Hamilton's missed it. That's maybe smart from Hamilton, just avoid the chaos.
Still up there.
Everybody's stacking up now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Verstappen's already made up positions.
Surely Max tries to get Gasly right here.
Oh, here we go.
No. Interesting.
Yeah, Daniel Ricciardo P3. Yeah, it was Norris off the start.
Yeah.
Your bias. I can't believe you thought that was Ricciardo falling back. How dare you? Fuming.
That's poor wheel knowledge from me. I will accept that. Taking a spot, though, off the Alpine, going through all the
that was good.
which is nice.
That was crucial for him to get.
De Vries still up there? Right, here we go.
I'm sorry.
De Vries is still there.
Daniel is still in P3.
Oh, Latifi.
Really?
Daniel.
Okay.
Manifest.
Latifi's down to 14.
How already Verstappen passed
What
Gasly,
are
by the
you
way,
doing,
P4.
man?
Great. This has been a great first lap for Max.
Oh, yeah,
He's
great.
dude,
Really
is
great first lap from Max.
absolutely flying.
De Vries still in 8th, by the way. Come on, lads. We love to see it.
Yeah.
Nicky, what have
That
you
Red
done?
Bull's so planted.
That Red Bull is so fast.
I mean, Daniel's going to get eaten alive into turn one.
Yeah. And like you said, they've got slightly, a bit more wing on the rear, so it just gives them that extra edge.
Look at him. He's just holding on to the rear wing of that car.
He's almost pushing him through the corner.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to overtake him before they get to the start-finish line.
That is insane.
And job done.
And DRS isn't even open yet.
No.
Because obviously, because they've got more wing, DRS is more powerful, but also it holds you back more down the straights when you don't have it.
Exactly. But the fact that he could go through the final corner up his gearbox and it's just
it's
just
crazy.
pulls alongside. It was like when in last race.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, bus stop.
The two Aston Martins get a bit close.
Hey, Perez inside.
No. Sainz and Perez, but they both survive.
Sainz giving
Sainz on the
Perez the
outside.
real good squeeze there. And he might come back. He might repay him the favour here.
It's kicking off in front of them as well. Ocon, Magnussen, and Latifi.
I mean, Tsunoda up 3 on the race start as well. Verstappen, Magnussen up 4, Tsunoda up 3.
I think
Yeah.
a
Couple
It's a
movers in the
very
field.
conservative slow start from Lewis.
Considering
Yeah,
how
about
bad
19.
Lando's
Valtteri
start
down
was
5 as well.
He's done well to hold on to P6 for now, Lando.
I
Because that was
reckon
a shocking start.
I reckon Lewis is just trying to avoid the chaos right now, because if you get collected in a crazy start like this, like the chicanes, look at everybody like back up in the chicanes. Lewis is like, right, I'm going to let you jokers take each other out, and I'll be here to collect.
Wide in front of him at one point.
Yeah, exactly. He's seeing that, and he's like, right, these guys
You've got to
are...
know when to pick your battles, right?
And the opposite, just got Carlos absolutely sending it and just going for it. He's just like, yeah, cool, we'll go around the outside of 2
Tifosi
cars.
will love me.
Yeah, literally. He's looking for that Tifosi love.
I think Lewis went over the chicane as well, to be fair. Didn't help him.
Good initial start from George. Really good getaway. Then
The Ferrari starts pulling
the
though,
Ferrari,
man.
Yeah.
Almost
Bit too quick there.
had enough to throw one up the inside. Tried the outside.
you're always going to get squeezed out there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you
You are always going to get
Those are
squeezed
bad
out.
flashbacks too.
Worth a
Yeah, yeah.
Bad
Literally from that
flashbacks.
the exact angle.
Complaining on the radio saying he just pushed me wide. I mean, it's difficult. When you put yourself there on lap one, you're never going to get the space, mate.
Oh, this shocker, Lando! No,
Still
dude.
kicking in for Lando.
Anti-store, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Look like
Considering how many positions, look, he's behind Latifi at one stage. Oh no, sorry, De Vries.
De Vries.
I mean, he did well to get past De
He goes
Vries
back
and the
for
Alpine
Ryan.
again.
Yeah, and then
he was always
going to
lose out
Fernando.
to Max, but he'll be gutted because he's behind Daniel now, realistically. So.
Oof. Here we go. Right.
And then this.
This is chaos.
There was a
This is
conflict.
pure
Full
chaos.
wide
for a split second there.
Oh my god! How are you meant to navigate this?
Is this an F1 open lobby or something right now?
This literally looks like.
It's
Yeah,
like
now this is. That was.
Now, yeah, that
now
was.
it is.
trying to drive a bus through a corridor getting through there. That's insane.
It seems like everyone's got
And then
through.
this is.
Was he lost something, or was that the car? Was that
Alpha, that's the Alpha.
Bottas is, you can see the
Alpha.
Alpha missing.
Valtteri's got damage. Oh, Valtteri can't DNF again, surely.
Not this many
Well,
times.
it's
in a
not
row.
looking great P20, so
Oh, man, he's had the worst luck.
some
That's
horrendous
about
luck.
6 new engines in a
Fastest
row.
lap for Max, already flexing the muscles
Max
of
is
that
flying.
insane
Max
Red Bull.
is literally flying.
Latifi's 16th, man. What are you doing?
16.
Easy
I
top
can't,
three. Easy top three.
man, honestly.
That's what he was
I
saying.
can't.
Easy top 3.
It just, oh, man, Latifi, bro.
And then Gasly,
What are you playing
weaving
at?
about.
Gasly's hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
ass.
bit of a...
Hunting.
Ooh, somebody had a shocker there. That was a big lock, a lot of tire smoke.
Yeah, look at that gap.
Didn't take
already
the escape road.
Ooh, another
between
lot of lock up.
Verstappen and Ricciardo, 6 seconds already between third and fourth. So Ricciardo's
yeah.
going to have to. It's going to be difficult for him to keep Gasly behind. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Max,
yeah.
Max keeps smashing in purples there.
Yeah.
No,
He's
the
got
Vries is on
a
the
second
soft,
to
but he's done a
Russell.
great job.
Yeah, he's doing well.
And Perez with a nice lunge down the inside. The Red Bulls are making it look easy right now.
Yeah. So science up to P13.
And I mean, that says it all. I mean, that launch off that corner was
Insane.
ridiculous.
He's passing George.
He's getting George at the end of this lap.
Yeah,
And then he'll be on to chasing after Leclerc.
I think Leclerc Ferrari race pace was good. It's just you feel like Red Bull are going to find a way, don't you? How it's been going this year with their strategy.
And the thing is, like you mentioned, like the corner speed off like Parabolica, if that's great enough to just get him out of DRS straight away when he gets Leclerc,
Yes,
then
exactly.
even Ferrari's straight line speed's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, did we see Verstappen gave George one of these in
FP, wasn't it?
Yeah, George was on his long run and Max was on a quality simulation, and he was
my God.
I don't appreciate that. Sir.
The racing lines
The racing lines
The
on.
racing
The racing line. F1
here we go.
2022 racing
Even
line.
Pros have to use it.
Throws
Big
it down
dive.
the inside
That's a
into turn one.
sensational dive.
Doesn't even defend.
Lovely.
Is it worth defending from George's point of view?
No,
it's
he's
not. It's
going to
not.
maximize the points. He knows, and I'm sure he
was
saw that.
harvesting.
He's like, right, these guys have some serious pace, and all he's going to do at this point, if everybody's trying to one-stop, if he defends too hard, he's only going to screw himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially on the soft tyres, he needs to make them last as well.
Exactly.
At this point, it is quite literally an easy top 3. There's no 16th about it. So, like, he doesn't need to fight too much.
Here we go.
But that Red Bull is so quick.
Didn't defend it. No point.
It's a shame, but I get it.
Yeah,
you
it's a
want to see
shame.
him defend, but
It's how, it's like, it's just the way F1 works. Like, there are fights you get in, and there's fights you just don't need to bother with because they'll affect your race way too much. Later on, being that patient for George might pay dividends of his whole race strategy, et cetera, et cetera. So just for him right now, because you never know. Now, Max could go and attack Leclerc. If they fight enough or if something happens, then Russell looks like the absolute genius for holding back.
well, we saw the two title protagonists last year collide at Monza, didn't we?
Exactly. So
Hamilton is only made up one, whereas Sainz is up 6. Sainz is up into 12 right now.
Sainz is flying.
Yeah.
I really thought he
He's
was.
about to
That's why
take off from
I put
here.
him in my P5 in predictions because I thought he'd fly through.
And he's 11.
And he's now 11.
Yeah, he's past
Good
Vettel,
move on
yeah.
Vettel.
But
He might grab Stroll here on the straight.
Lewis did say, before the race, he was worried about the DRS trains, and I think that Mercedes just doesn't have enough performance to overcome.
Yeah.
It's just flatline not as quick as the Red Bull and Ferrari, so it's not going to carve through the traffic as easily. Like, here
Especially
we go.
around track like
Yeah.
Stroll now as
Another
well.
Aston. P10.
Perez. That's
He's
insane.
gone from, what was it,
Oh,
18
Perez. Careful there.
Left the wheel in there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Let him know you're there.
18th to points. In
Oh,
6
it's
laps.
against Esteban as well.
Yeah, he's...
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Perez.
Yeah, it is.
But those
Level
guys get
history.
along really well, and when they race wheel to wheel, nothing bad has ever happened, even when they've been in the same car.
Yep, totally.
That's job done.
Must be said, lovely tribute helmet from Ocon this weekend for,
Yeah, love
for
that.
Michael Schumacher.
Michael
Really
Schumacher.
lovely.
Indeed.
Really lovely
Indeed.
helmet.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, no, he's passed P13. Well, now it's about, max 2.2. Well, how quick does that gap go down?
I think it's been 2.2-ish since...
Is it stayed?
Yeah, I think we'll monitor that, but it looks like Leclerc's got some pace today.
Yeah.
They're both on softs. Ricardo Gasly,
Yeah, I think he
top 3 on softs right
He
now.
was flying through the other cars. Now he's chipping away a little bit, I think is the word. As we now see Daniel leading a large train forming,
Oh,
which
Lord.
Science will tail end soon.
Multiple carriages here.
And
be honest with
the
you.
classic Monza weave will be going on.
Yeah.
Well, as long as Ricardo's got just enough straight line speed to keep Gasly behind,
He's fine, yeah.
then he's all right. But Blake, actually, question. In this situation with Max 2 seconds behind Leclerc, both on soft tyres, you need to make them last. Do you think Max will be managing this gap, or do you think he'll be pushing?
It's not sure at this point, because I think that's super hard to tell until after the race when you're spectating it. But in terms of what they're looking at, Max will probably been pushing quite a bit, and the strategy would have probably fed back to him from the pit wall. It's like, where are you at on pace? And if he says I'm 10 out of 10 and they're not closing the gap, they're going to say, all right, well, we need to make these last. Because if you go 11 out of 10 for 2 laps, we're going to cut 3-4 laps off of this stint. And if we're trying to one stop, that's going to absolutely have us over. So I think they're playing it. And Ferrari's pit stops have been really good, so they don't really need to worry about that.
Because am I right in saying the effects of dirty air, because there's not many medium speed corners here, it's less of a factor, right?
Yeah, you'll get a little bit of the circulation effect around Monza. So like in terms of dirty air and hurting cornering performance, you're talking about 1.5, maybe up to 2 seconds.
Okay.
But you're still getting actually a benefit. You will see a bit of a toe.
Okay.
It's not much, but up 2 to 3 to even outside of 4 seconds around Monza, you can see a little bit of toe, especially if it's calm.
Oh, here we go.
So we're looking at something already.
Checo side. Wearing some tyres.
They're
Leclerc
prepped and ready,
and Verstappen swapping fastest laps there.
unlike Ferrari last week.
to lap
I'd
9.
say Sergio on softs.
Sergio is on mediums.
Sergio's on mediums. Could we see a very early Lewis pit stop as well if we're getting Perez in? Just to get him out of the traffic. Get some... Because anything right now,
But
he's going to be going quicker than Latifi.
Science, another move here.
Sainz
There
in,
we go.
Perez in pit.
Ooh,
Perez pit. Science
Perez
does
does
quite
pit.
new zone.
And Perez looks like he's going onto the hard tyre. Yep.
okay.
did he have an
Did he have something?
issue? That was early for a medium.
Yeah. Very early.
2.1 seconds.
It looks like he has an overheating
what
brake.
What is going on? What is going on with that brake?
Perez's front right is steaming.
He's cooking.
On fire.
That's too early for a strategic.
Yeah, I mean he's gone.
It's still smoking.
Early.
Yeah.
It's on fire. It's on fire.
It's on fire.
Okay.
Right, go quick, Sergio. Put the fire out. Come on.
I reckon potentially if they had a genuine concern over his brake, they pit it to inspect. We saw last week that one of the Ferraris had a tear off in their duct.
Yeah, of course.
Pit early, inspect that, but
That's still smoking, isn't it?
That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem.
At a certain point, like if those brake drums get too hot, the internals melt, and then they don't work at all.
Then
because they've got these tubes and tunnels inside.
Monza, that's the worst problem.
Sergio is literally on fire right now.
Yeah, especially
just not pace, unfortunately.
Breaking into turn one. We all remember Vettel's brake failure.
Straight
through
the And his radio's like, can you please stop with what? How?
It looked like the guy looking at the front right was inspecting that, but that is genuinely a problem.
And that's not
with
a quick
the brake
fix,
drum.
is it?
That's a car retirement.
Yeah, you can see the flames in the rear.
This was
the problem with that. If that's on fire, you start losing a load of sensors in that front corner, and with a fire like that, if it gets too hot, uprights, brake calipers, you can have a brake line failure if the brake line is burned. So they're monitoring that, and that looks like if it's not superficial, that will be a car retirement for Perez. There's no way you pit off a medium on lap 8.
Yeah,
well, Hugh Bird's asking him to move his brake bias a bit. I guess just try and take a bit more stress off of that.
But at a certain point around a track like this, the brake balance is so important. So if if to make a significant impact on your front brake temps, if you have to go rearwards 5%. The braking will be so suboptimal. You might as well just go park it and have an ice cream.
Yeah.
That'll cool it down, to be fair.
For sure.
You're putting mileage on the engine at the end of the day, aren't you?
Exactly.
Well, Sainz having a storm here. He's got De Vries on lap 9 now, sizing up Alonso. My top 5 for Sainz is looking like might be nailed on here, maybe. If he doesn't get stuck behind Alonso. And the two McLarens.
I mean, he's been carving through this DRS train already. Like, De Vries and Zhou were in this train, so I don't see why he can't get past the rest of them.
Yeah.
Dude's moving. So Verstappen-Leclerc gap is down to 1.5. So I reckon Max is pushing on that. But I think also Leclerc will probably be managing and trying to just keep him out of DRS. I think that is probably his goal right now. He needs to keep his gap at 1.2, 1.5 and manage the race. Because right now, Ferrari are in control of this race.
Sainz P7. Fernando didn't put up any fight there. Again, no point.
I don't think any of them will till Russell.
Nick De Vries still sitting there P9. He's on the soft spot.
I think that's the good.
Very good.
I think that's the right move for him as a rookie in his first race. Just stick him on the tire that's going to give him the most grip, just to kind of get some confidence. Maybe
also
high fuel as well.
I just realised something. If De Vries gets points, say he stays P9 and gets
it pushes
2 points
Latifi down
to 21 again.
21st out of a 20 driver champion.
Yeah, 21 out of 22 because he was behind Hulkenberg for a long time as well, wasn't he? I mean, if De Vries gets P8, he'll have the same amount of points as Alex, which. Please don't.
My goodness.
P9's fine. All the questions are asked.
Let's not go too far.
P9's fine. No, I would be chuffed for him. Like, he's merited the opportunity, and I think he's taken it.
Oh, totally.
I think Ferrari are going to a different plan. Could be Plan C,
Plan L,
D, Plan G.
Right.
Plan K.
Plan K.
Well, the gap is 1.2. So
Max is now closing it, and I think he has pace in hand. And based on last lap, it's the next lap he's in DRS.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Blake, at Red Bull, what's the communication for plans? Like Ferrari use plan A, B, C, D. Is there a particular...
It changed from year to year and just depended on what was, if it was a predominantly 2-stop. When you have a lot of 1-stop races, the main... You don't really have that many plans. It's like, we've made our bed. It's like, are we going longer or shorter? And that's actually quite easy to communicate subtly without giving the strategy away.
Yeah. You've got to be reactive, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's like +2, -1, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody knows what you're stopping on. But for the most part, I mean, if all the other teams are looking at all your strategy.
Oh, here we go. Seb's had come a cropper somewhere.
That doesn't look good.
Oh, no.
That's a failure.
I'm losing power.
Engine failure.
Let's see where he parks.
Let's see where he parks. Italian Grand Prix.
Engine failure.
It's not a fairy tale.
I reckon that's engine failure, no?
It has
Yeah.
to be,
I mean, when
Yeah,
you
he's
when you
down
see,
the order, yeah.
He's
when you
dropping
see
down.
guts coming out the tailpipe like that, that's usually bad. Have we seen a Mercedes external combustion engine
haven't.
yet?
Failure.
I don't think we have.
Oh,
No.
here we go.
They've been very like, oh, Seb's not
been-
going to make it to the pitch. Yellow flag.
They've
Sector
been very,
two.
very, very reliable so far.
This is unlikely to be a full-blown safety car because
VSC.
he's pulled straight in. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Might be a little VSC.
Green
should be a
track.
Green
Send it,
flag.
mate.
Green flag.
He's not coming back.
Green car, green flag. That's upsetting.
They'll need to recover it, though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, poor Seb.
Poor Seb. He has a nice tribute him up to his first ever F1 win here at Monza all those years ago.
Carlos makes another place up.
Sainz makes an overtake on the ex-Toro Rosso there. Gasly, virtual.
Just before
like
the
you said.
very safety car as well.
Yeah.
Worth pitting, maybe? You lose less time to a VSC?
I think everyone's gone past the pit lane just now, but
You're holding a constant lap time delta. So the Ferrari garage is ready. They've got hands-on tires. Hopefully they can find 4 tires this time.
Seb's out the car. They should be able to push that into off track pretty quickly.
extra
The top
for it,
3 have a free stop. To 4th, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Russell doesn't.
Wow. So it's 18
well, under a
seconds.
VSC
It's like
probably does,
21.
it's less. It's less. of
17,
23.
17 for a VSC, it says.
17 seconds VSC time loss
Okay.
if you pit.
Yeah, George probably doesn't. Really. Actually, no, that's 19 seconds to George, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
So he does.
He does.
Yeah,
just
George
about.
could pit.
Just about. Just about.
Oh, TV's going to turn off production.
Auto power off. Slow button on.
Don't turn off.
295 seconds until.
Gives you a
power
lot
off.
of warning, doesn't it? Yeah. Lads, you've got 20 minutes.
Ferrari
until
are
the switch-
asking Charles about boxing for plan A.
For plan
And he's
A.
coming in.
It's bold
Plan
to
A.
assume this is
Leclerc's
plan A.
in the
Max
pits.
has stayed out,
Ooh.
by the way. I'm pretty sure Max has
Max
stayed out
stayed
behind
out.
him.
Max has stayed out.
Ferrari, don't bottle
So
this.
this is it.
This is
Come
the
on.
moment. This is where it all
Divergence.
starts to go wrong.
Please
minions are on
have
the
a
car.
good pit stop.
Oh, it's a good pit stop. Nice. Well done, Ferrari. 2.2. Very quick.
Those
That's what
pit
car over
stops
as
this
well.
season are getting really quick, man. Red Bull down to a 2.0 last week.
They're incredible. Incredible. With these chunky ass tires.
Yeah, these guys have been training
Is he definitely
super
ahead of
hard.
Daniel? Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Just about.
Leclerc comes out
That's
ahead
so
of
close, isn't it?
Ricardo just.
Oh.
So that approximate VSC, it's because it went green.
Yeah, when
Race
green
is
to their
started,
racing.
yeah.
That is a tricky one. If you ride on the bubble of that
Oh.
stop,
Hello.
Leclerc
Cold
slides.
tires, cold tires.
Lando
Leclerc's
going
gone on
across
to
the chicane and
mediums.
stuff.
Mediums from
mediums?
lap 13, if that graphic is correct.
Yep.
So Ferrari needed that 2.2 seconds as well.
I think it is mediums. Yep.
Oh, yeah, Leclerc's on mediums.
Yeah, mediums.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's fascinating.
Lando went over the chicane, by the way, and now he's behind Alonso. Just putting that out there.
No, I'm having a great weekend at the moment.
Do we know much from practice how the hards and the medium were on long runs?
No, I didn't look too much. And honestly, Friday data, without looking historically at a whole season, plus how they perform in the race, that's just super tricky when people are like, oh, they look great in P2. It's like, you don't score points in P2. I mean, it's interesting for a narrative to talk about.
Yeah. And it goes
Sainz, let's go.
Big
That's
dive.
scoring,
Oh,
nice.
lovely move. Lovely move.
He's not getting stuck
Great
behind
move,
Ricardo. He
that.
says, no, I'm getting out of here, mate.
Science is looking. I think Science has looked good.
Now the thing is, though,
tail
this
end of the
this
season.
is good news for Ferrari because they have 2 cars to play around
Yes.
with.
Yeah.
potentially now.
But
Good point.
is plan A going to be plan abysmal for Leclerc? Because Sainz is on a used medium, 2 seconds behind him. They'll obviously slay your teammates on a different strategy. But
GP's just telling Max that, which it is a long way to go on mediums.
Yeah,
it is,
So
to be
don't
fair.
worry too much.
Ooh, as Gasly
might
goes
fall
past
away at the
Daniel
end.
Ricciardo. And then locks up
Oh,
and goes
Gasly
too
went
deep.
way
man.
too hard.
Come on, brother.
Way too
That
hard.
was your moment, my son.
Gonna have to let
He's
him
going to have
pass.
to give that back. Yeah.
And that's going to be awkward because if Alonso.
yeah, if you let the door open, then everybody comes. So he's like, cheers, mate.
fly through.
Yeah.
There he goes. He's done.
Okay, that's pretty well done.
He's done well, yeah.
Because he'll just close.
Now lunge it back up the inside.
Brilliant. And K-Mag's getting investigated for something
Haas
on the
have
first
been
corner.
nowhere this weekend. What's been going on with them?
Yeah, really.
They've been struggling.
That you could tell already that was going to be way
breaks
too
himself.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't making that corner.
He thought he was in a Red Bull car.
Yeah, he broke at Imola.
A little
I
bit
was
too
like,
much chili oil on that one. Jesus.
Replay of Latifi's rear wing wiggling about. Blimey.
Those things are on the edge, aren't they? You see them, you hit a curb and you see this
Yeah.
thing moving. I mean, that thing's moving, 60, 70 mil around. It's like, all right.
Nah, genuinely, lads, I'm really impressed by De Vries.
He's hanging on to it.
He's just in this group. Like, he's just chilling in this group battle for 5th.
So basically, he's been overtaken by Sainz. That's the only thing that's pushed him down from 8th to 9th.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
I think we should get a poll. I think we should ask the people, will Charles Leclerc be able to take these mediums to the end of the race? Or will he have to pit again?
Personally, I'm not sure. But yeah, let us know in the chat.
He's just there fast up the Grand Prix. So
Because
exactly
Monza is low
looking to
tyre
protect
wear,
them.
typically, as tracks go.
Yeah.
You don't look so sure.
Low tire wear, low degradation, and everything else. But Leclerc's doing purple laps at the start
off the bat
of a medium stint off the bat. Now, the fuel's come down and everything else.
True.
I think they started sweating. I'm not sure. I don't have the data.
So do you think Plan A is a 2? They said Plan A, but Plan A 2-stop seems...
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to keep you guessing. They've had themselves guessing
think they're
all
keeping
season.
themselves
Now they're
guessing.
trying to mess with you, Tom.
yeah
Plan A is actually Plan B. They have different.
Yes.
They have different linkages.
that would
to
be
what the
very
plans
Ferrari.
actually
That
are.
would be very Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Plan A.
Ferrari.
It sucks to see. It sucks to see a team like Ferrari having this bad of a season when their car is that fast. They've got so much potential, and it looks from the outside, from us, have no idea what's going on inside the team. It looks like they are absolutely imploding. Under the pressure.
It does. It does.
Yeah, they're making far too many mistakes for where they are, how good their car is,
Yeah.
and how many points they should have, really.
It's not bad luck if it happens every week.
No, it's, yeah.
It's fundamental.
And
problems at that
ultimately, there's a point where you can't do what Bonotto has been saying and go, nothing needs to change. Like, no, yes, eventually something does have to change because you just can't keep doing this over and over again.
You can probably afford to throw away 2 races a season if you want to win the championship.
Yeah.
And
So
not
throwing away,
7.
seven or
There's so many components that are required to be successful. And it's the car, it's the driver, it's the pit crew, it's the strategy team. There's even more like behind the scenes that we don't even see.
The politics and stuff that you never ever hear about, the management decisions, how they run the cars in practice. Do not short shift on exit to Leclerc.
Oh, Leclerc's being told not to short shift corner exit. They've seen something they're not
What would
happy about.
that have an impact on?
So the only things I can think on short shifting is if there's engine issues and it's bogging or it has poor control and it's causing poor traction. And if he has poor traction, trying to go long on a medium doesn't sound very clever at this
The
point.
rear is going to burn
Ferrari.
off.
Yeah.
Or
Please
there's an
no.
issue with the gearbox.
Please no.
So the options are good. The options are good there.
Yeah. So
We've got a good recipe. We've got all the stuff cooking in the pot right now. For a little chaos casserole is there.
Right, live poll. 80% of you do not think Leclerc will reach the end of the race on these medium tyres. So think that the plan A is a 2-stop, which, again, from what we saw from Pirelli's suggestions, it was all 1-stop.
Yeah. But how many times has Ferrari really listened to Pirelli's suggestions?
the thing is, as well, I think 80% of people in the chat could probably work as strategists for Ferrari.
So Gasly just on the radio there complaining that Ricardo is all over the place. So maybe he's not happy with how much
Defending.
track
The
he's
weaving,
using or
I'm
weaving.
guessing.
Yeah.
Lewis.
kind of
Gasly's
Finally,
0.6
Lewis has
behind.
made some quite progress.
P11?
To P11 now.
Yeah. Next up for him is catching that big train that's battling for 5th.
Yeah.
But it's going to get harder because obviously they're quicker cars, the more is going up the field. I think Alonso is... I just don't know if Mercedes have that pace delta over the Alpine and the AlphaTauri and with Gasly to actually make those moves.
Max, I mean,
We'll see.
despite the fact that Leclerc's setting purple laps, it looks like Leclerc's gaining around half a second a lap, maybe from what I can tell over the last few laps, maybe a little bit more than that. So this is going to be super interesting because I think Max will start running into some deg on that soft soon.
What we've seen throughout the field as well. I think there's not been too many... Sonoda's up to P14 from last.
Yeah, I was going to say he started
Stone
right back,
dead.
didn't
Yeah, so he's
And
making
Latifi is now
some good
19th,
progress.
so he really has not gone well.
he? From 10th. That is actually borderline impressive.
Oh, man.
That is actually shocking. The fact that De Vries is 9th and he's 19th. And they started pretty similar
I don't want to
positions.
look at my Twitter notifications.
Aarav, is that the nail in the coffin, bro?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think
They
that
have
very
to be,
much.
already done.
If this was F1 manager, we'd be looking around and going, right, sign this guy.
I'm taking
fire.
people without any experience. It's like, have you driven a car before?
Yeah,
You don't-
Yeah.
On
Do you have a
Alonso,
license?
Lando up the
Hang on,
inside.
they go
Fernando.
on Fernando Alonso.
Into T1.
Fernando.
Gives him a nice
Nicely
squeeze.
done.
Yeah. Leaves it
Gets the job
super late,
done.
gets him out there and says, this is my line.
Right.
I'm surprised that the Alpine isn't making more progress. Big lock-up.
Not a big lock-up.
Yeah, someone.
Probably Latifi.
He's not that close.
Magnussen?
Those lockups around Monza are
horrendous.
Bad. Yeah, as soon as you get a lockup, the next time it happens the same spot over and over again. Your tires start
turn one's so bad.
Yeah.
You can see in the slow-mo, like, it's just, you can kind of feel almost the pain in the tyre being scraped off that surface as they try to spin the car around for turn one.
I've been impressed with the McLarens this race so far. Like, I didn't think they had any performance in a straight line, but actually...
They themselves worried about that.
Nando's had to overtake Alonso 3 times.
I thought the Alpine would be clear, to be honest.
And he's now actually pulled away a bit and might go on the back of Gasly here.
I mean, Ricardo's lost, 2 positions from the start, and Leclerc's had a box, a free pit stop inside of that. But still, like, that's, from where we've seen McLaren this season, that's actually not half bad. And Lando's making some good progress as well.
Also not bad from Gasly as well. AlphaTauri's been kind of in the middle of nowhere for a lot of the season, so it's nice to actually see him up in the top 6.
Yeah, he watched my F1 Manager gameplay the other night, and he's like, I saw what Blake could do with my strategy. Let's get it, boys.
Well, that AlphaTauri in his hands last year was such a consistent car. But this car,
he's now in the pit.
He's coming in for a
as
stop.
he comes into the pitch. Yeah.
This seems like the right kind of pit stop window, I'd say.
I think he's getting out of that. He's not making any progress, so get him out.
Yeah.
But where's he going to
go
drop?
into the pits as well?
Yeah. Well, you'd hope that they've.
So the people that he's
the
people that he's pit into have also just pit. So
see where he comes out. Come on, Pierre.
Not a great stop from any of those guys. 3.6.
3.6.
Stroll on a 2.6.
TV standby.
This TV loves to go on standby, doesn't it? It's Sky, not the TV.
He loves it.
Ripperoonie. Someone was saying in the chat, by the way, that a Mercedes 1-2 was brewing. I would like to know where this brewery is, because it's not. It isn't.
No, I think they've drank some of the drink whilst they've been brewing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was not beer. That was moonshine or something.
Huge.
Hugh Grant. Hello, Hugh Grant.
Huge Grant.
Huge Grant.
What?
Big Grant.
It's always known as.
Massive Grant.
Pit window for the mediums, 23 to 30. So they're actually saying the pit window's a little bit later. But I guess if you're going to go medium...
I hope Leclerc's strategist not watching that. That was like lap 14 or something, wasn't it? Jesus.
Look at De Vries. He's keeping on the back of Fernando.
Go on, Nick.
Oh, mate.
Points for Nick.
Man.
Points for Nick. That would be.
If he comes into the pits, don't bottle it, Williams.
He's on the soft.
He's on softs. He's done 20 laps on that.
He's done very well.
Very good stint. Could he go to mediums between now and the end of the race, rather? Because if he started on the softs, he opens up that opportunity.
20 laps
onto the mediums.
20 laps on a soft, 30 laps on a medium with a little bit of management.
Conservative with it.
Yeah,
no, mediums.
Go mediums.
Good stuff. I like this aggressive strategy.
Well, there's what?
Good stuff for Williams.
33 to go, and the pit window for the medium is
2.6.
23 to 30 laps. So he should be able to make that last. But it's good for Williams because they've got a lot of data now on Nick that they can come away from this weekend. Directly compare. GoCompare.com. You know?
I mean, honestly, if I was Williams, I'd just give Latifi the P45 now. It just comes up on the dashboard. Big man.
Can you go to engine mode 14 quickly, please?
Yeah.
I made it says P45. Yeah, that's it. Mark it.
That's it. Coming in this lap box. Get out.
Although,
Alex is in the car park.
Did you see that on the Alpine wheel, it called Ocon mid? On his wheel, it comes up mid.
Personally, would not have that.
That was a bit harsh. He's not having a great race, but
he's like, I'm just trying to change the differential settings, and it's calling me mid.
Oh, here we go. Right, Leclerc still got fastest lap, but that gap's opened up.
Has Max pulled the gap? It was down to 11?
Yeah, it's up to 15 seconds now. Leclerc.
Did Leclerc make a mistake or something? I don't know.
Well, he's still setting purples. He must have had a wobble somewhere because he's setting purple, so he's not losing pace. Max is on a 21-lap-old soft tire.
But they were concerned about his engine, so maybe that's
maybe he's losing some upshift performance.
They were saying no short shifts, and Leclerc was concerned about his engine. But I suppose these drivers are so at one with the car, even the slightest feeling of something wrong, they're going to jump on.
Yeah.
That's right. Gasly staring at the back end of Daniel
still
again.
behind Ricciardo, man.
He'll be fed up by the end of it.
I think that's what Pierre meant is Daniel's all over the place. You see him, but he's not in striking range. He's just trying to break that toe and make sure he doesn't get as much of an advantage. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's not moving under braking. He's 10 car lengths back still.
It'll be interesting to see where Lando comes out when he eventually... Because Lando's not pitted, is he?
No, he's gone longer with Fernando.
But they say 23 to 30
P7.
is the window for the medium tyre. So we might, if they're putting them in the window, then we might see him.
Looks like Hamilton's now about 2 seconds off Alonso, so he's closed that. So he'll be part of that train now.
But I think seeing De Vries do 20 laps on the softs, maybe we'll see people push the medium to like lap 30 and then 35, maybe then chuck a soft on.
Potentially.
I know Zandvoort, the tyres wore more than they expected. So
Plan C for Leclerc we're now on to, which actually
Oh,
means
is it?
Plan D.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Swap
God.
those rounds.
No,
so-
but after you go above B, you add 3 letters. So it's
Yeah.
plan F.
yeah, exactly.
But it's only Ferrari, like you said, like if it's a one-stop sort of race, you don't need plans. You just need, are you going long or short?
You can see-
Only Ferrari will have this many plans for this race.
Plan L.
you can see Daniel's face on his helmet.
Yeah,
from the
it's great.
camera
It's,
angle. It's so
it's
good.
exceptional. It's exceptional.
You can
Ricciardo
see it
doing
so
the-
clearly
the
as well, though.
The Rossi
great.
style helmet, really, really cool helmet. Very, very
So
cool.
it looks like Perez, whatever, he hasn't struggled that badly. He hasn't suffered any damage. Because
Oh, man.
if you have
Yeah.
brake fire and it burns the drums, you're not cooling those brakes and you're retiring the car. So
Yeah.
It's recovering the race.
Yeah,
12
maybe it's
seconds
not
back
too
from
bad.
Hamilton.
I kind of forgot what that he was.
Yeah.
He's ninth, isn't he? And
Yeah.
do you reckon he can get those hards to the end?
No,
Or-
yeah, that'll be fine.
realistically, so-
It'll just be now, if that
Might be like a
They
Messi
must
comes
be
back or anything like that.
Bit worried though with like 30 laps still to go that,
There was a small fire.
going into turn 1.
It was a small.
There was a small controlled fire.
It's
But
gotta hold
there's
on.
so many sensors in that corner of the brake drum that you can see that you've got wheel speed, brake temperature, brake caliper temperature, all sorts of other stuff. So if they see that all that stuff's happy and it's still cooling, performance is still good, they should have confidence.
Yeah.
But if safety car, let's say if the safety car and the brakes are hot, you're trying to get the brakes restarted, you could see some issues. So
Checo's dad's there as well.
he's
What
a legend. What a legend.
He's such a happy man.
He's just so proud of his son.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
It's
I love
so
it.
sweet.
Absolutely love it.
Wholesome.
Right, what are we
What we
saying?
wanna
Max gap is 14.3 now.
He's holding
So,
that.
yeah, very much holding on very old softs now. So
But he's going long enough. It's going to be a soft medium at this
Yeah.
So
point.
then you can lean on
surely.
the mediums a bit more. Have Ferrari? I don't want to say Ferrari fumbled it, but you just always feel that
Say
Red
it with
Bull
chest
are going to
elbow.
find a way.
But it
You
was
just always feel that Red Bull are going to find a way. Even if Ferrari don't bottle it, you feel like Red Bull are going to find a way.
They're insanely consistent this season, and
Yeah.
they have not had any major fumbles, and
Yeah.
a lot of other teams are starting to see that. And it's at the beginning of the season, it was a lot of stuff about team orders and everything else, but they're cutthroat and they're very decisive, going for maximizing the points.
Alonso radio. We have a problem with the deployment ERS issue for Fernando. Looks okay from their side.
I love that. He says,
wow! Oh my god! Oh my god!
"Are we going to get it?"
That was
Fernando.
basically the reincarnation of GP2 engine.
Exactly what I
That
was
was
saying.
that was
slow.
it. That
It's
was
just that bad.
You know what? Alonso, we've got to remember, he's going to Aston Martin next year. So he's very much in his McLaren, I'm leaving the team era of like, I'm just going to throw shade at you left, right, and centre.
We don't
Wow.
care. He just does not give a shit.
That was a passive aggressive wow, full stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was,
It takes skill to say a full stop in
does.
real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So,
As Lewis
That
is
was-
all over the back of Fernando now. So
that gave me the same energy as
This
like literally
Alpine
when,
is
I think it was Japan
slow.
when McLaren brought an upgrade. And he was like,
Yes.
"Oh, is this the engine package upgrade? Oh wow, incredible! Even slower than before." Even slower
That's
than
my
before.
favourite Alonso
It's
one.
amazing.
It's my
He
favourite
literally at that stage he did not care.
He's got
one
the best
bit.
one-liners, isn't he? Honestly, he really does.
Hamilton Alonso. Well, after Spa,
was
would
gonna
this
say,
be a bit juicy?
Could be a little bit spicy, this one.
Got Russell pitted for hards as well, so he's come out ahead of Lando. So looking good
Yeah.
for George.
The Mercs love the
Not
hards.
jinxing it. I'm not jinxing it. Okay.
The Merc.
But it is looking good for
Mercs
George.
love to be hard.
Little squeeze.
What?
Adios.
You can't be saying that.
Bro, come on now.
It's a PG show.
Peggy 18. Lewis is all over the back of Fernando.
But the,
I mean,
the
there must be
Alpine's
an
slippy.
issue.
The Alpine is slippy, man.
Yeah, but they've just got no performance. I don't get it.
I think outside the DRS train potentially.
But that radio message there, sign saying, "I want the soft." It looks like it has really good performance. Again, is that Carlos engineering the car for himself, or just making sure that his pit wall has, they're not letting him guess. They're telling him, "I want this."
yeah.
Bloody hell, Hamilton just had a twitch around the final corner.
Massive.
Using a bit
that
of
was
track.
close, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to pay for the track, you might as well use all of it.
True.
Gonna pay for the track.
That's their argument when they get track limits.
well, how much in this situation, like you say with Carlos, trying to kind of give his opinion on the strategy, because it's important for the team to learn to listen to the driver, but also vice versa. Like in this situation, where do you think that the line is for where the team should listen to the driver?
To be fair, if Carlos is telling the team, I think the soft looks good, they've got what strategy departments, maybe 4, 5, 6 people, not just the people on the pit wall. They're monitoring everybody's tire performance, so they will have a good idea. They've seen what Max can do.
He can only speak from his point of view.
Yeah. And like maybe
They can confirm.
Yeah, maybe
like,
he's
feeling.
seen the tree and it's like, all right, this guy's in the same spot. I know he's on the soft, because the drivers are doing all sorts of crazy shit when they're out.
Max in, but away from the lead. That was a quick pit stop.
On to medium.
Forward. Jesus.
Soft, medium lap. He's cut the race basically in half, a soft to a medium. So he's going to be able to
Push.
Leads this race.
I just don't think Leclerc's making it to the end as well.
Like, so either
80% of the people agree with you, Niran.
either Verstappen's catching him by pushing hard on these mediums, or Leclerc's going to pit before he gets the chance, and then we'll try to catch him.
Exactly. Maybe Leclerc does have 2 softs. I believe.
Fresh.
Yeah, I think he has 2 new softs. I think the Ferrari's
Plan soft.
Plan soft.
So
Again, sounds a bit mad.
but that being said, Leclerc on that medium was matching Max's pace on his 25-lap-old soft.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
In a way now, to be fair, like you said, if Leclerc does have softs, maybe now Carlos saying, I want the soft, if Sainz pits before Leclerc, that gives them some data then of, okay, at the lower fuel level, is Sainz able to start reeling in Max maybe, and then they can use that to inform Leclerc's strategy potentially.
Alonso's 5 seconds off the back of Norris now.
Hamilton's hanging on, but he's not been able to make a move
Not
yet.
getting past.
So,
Even with the sliding from both of them,
Yeah.
it's sort of very similar gap, very, very similar. And there's more snap of oversteer.
Lewis is struggling.
The balance is not great on that mark.
No, and just like you saw with the Red Bull having a lot of load, being able to follow closely, if he's struggling that much, he's not going to be close enough to capitalize on those attacks.
He needs to have a smooth exit.
That doesn't look fun to drive, honestly.
He's like a bucking bronco, bit. Goes up and down in the corners.
Rodeo, honestly.
Really is, especially for Lewis.
Even in the toe, he's not actually closing that much.
Right, needs to stay close around this final corner. Oh, he's right on the curb.
Alonso
surely now.
That was good.
Surely.
That was a good exit.
He's going to have a look, for sure.
Oh, for sure. He's got to.
But Fernando ain't going to go quietly.
No.
Oh, Lord.
To the inside.
Here we go.
Surely to the inside.
Hamilton and Alonso.
Yeah.
Alonso
just left.
He knows.
Wow.
He knows.
Hamilton up. Ooh.
It's like,
That was close.
Still got way too close.
and he's going to try to follow him through.
No
Alonso's going
traction.
to try to hang on to the back of this as long as he can. But that Alpine, he's done a lot of work to keep Lewis behind, I will say, looking at that.
Yeah, well, Ocon's P15, so they are actually not having a great day. Yeah.
He has pitted, to be fair, as Esteban.
And I think Alonso's got like 10 point scoring finishes in a row, I think. I think he's on a bit of a run at the minute. And yeah, I'm really surprised. Do you think they're overheating their tyres, or do you think they just... Because we know they've got the straight line speed. I don't know. Fascinating.
It's a weird one.
It is a weird one.
Just for anyone watching, by the way, who hasn't like kept up with pit stops, Carlos yet to pit, Lando, Lewis, and Alonso yet to pit as well. So they'll filter out of the top 10. And Mick and Bottas as well. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Bottas
Ricardo
was right
down was all pit.
Yeah. Ricardo's what, a net? I can't actually work it out off the top of my head. He's a net like P.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I can't do that math.
I gave up immediately. I carry the 3, divide by 4.
It took the FIA 6 hours to the starting grid, and Niran's just resorted this grid.
Reaching for all the information.
Yeah, it's one of them that hopefully converged towards the end.
What are we saying about this helmet camera?
I love
it.
They've added a little bit of stabilization, and now I don't get motion sick while watching it, but there's so much passion in this camera view.
It's exquisite. This is the closest thing you're going to get to actually being able to realise what it is to drive a Formula 1 car. It's incredible.
It's sensational. It's really, really good. Because they've had it in IndyCar for ages, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
You either watch that, or if you're lucky enough to have a setup or able to go somewhere to try virtual reality, then that's another good way to get a sense of what it's like.
Yeah, man.
But But having tried VR myself, that camera is very it's obviously skewed to the right.
Yes.
But it's very, very similar to what you're actually going to be able to get.
Because I think they first started trialing it in Formula E. I think Bell, who make the helmets, I think they
From next
years
year.
ago.
They have a rule, don't they, that every manufacturer of helmets now have to be able to house that camera.
Really?
Right now, it's only the certain type of helmet manufacturer, right?
Yeah, it's why you hate certain drivers.
It's only Leclerc, Gasly, and Lando, and just a few others. So now, from next year, we'll have helmet cam potential for everyone.
From everybody.
I think it's important to innovate the broadcast. I mean, we saw at Zandvoort they had the camera that was kind of you could see the banking as well, and it was kind of stabilized.
Yeah,
I think more they can do.
Even right now, we're seeing innovation of the picture-in-picture. It took them so many years to get that going. They still miss action. They still miss action. They still miss action, but at least it's something that we actually get now.
Verstappen's closing that gap down now.
Half a second a lap.
8.7.
Yeah.
So Leclerc is going to have to run another tire at the end.
We're a couple of laps away from Carlos potentially wanting to come in for that soft if he wants to go to it. And then the thing is, though, Verstappen's closing in so much that Ferrari aren't going to get the time to see if Carlos is getting that performance to catch Max. So they're going to have to just pull the trigger and do it early.
He's also just going to be too far behind as well. He's 4 seconds behind and he's not pitted yet. Do you know what I mean? So.
If Leclerc pits now, he falls out behind Sainz, I think.
Yeah.
Right, should we have a look at our predictions, lads? See how we're faring so far.
The update.
Just over
so
halfway
far.
into the race. Let's have a butchers. Let's see who's on top. Oh, near Blake.
But
The thing is, Blake's
playing the long game, man.
Blake, right now, let's be real. In terms of the long term for this race, Blake is on the money.
Yeah, I'm living in the here and now, baby.
Lap 30, not looking too good. Lap 53, I think my chances are pretty good.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
I'm not
true.
gonna lie, that's actually a really good position.
It's true.
Position.
It's true. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I saw that all the red lights pop up, and I was like, I bottled it. It's like, wait, no.
No.
The race isn't
it's
30
not
laps
over
long.
yet. Don't say no till the last lap.
But again,
Yeah.
That was good. That was
On
good.
brand, let's go.
It's all right.
All right, like and subscribe, please.
Sorry, you guys can use that as a clip, don't worry.
You'll sign up on that one. You'll allow that. But look, anything can happen at Monza. Again, it's high. Was it 80?
How accurate do you
10
think
laps,
these
striking
striking
distance.
distances are? And do you have...
Those are actually okay, yeah.
Do teams ever have that similar sort of data?
You're looking at that. Yeah,
You're an Amazon shill.
Yeah.
Repping
Amazon Prime. Just there.
Yeah, exactly. Jeffrey Bezos, how many laps, please? No
He's
way.
not picking up. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. But that's the thing.
he's
with,
rapid.
With Monza, anything can, safety car.
About to say.
You never know, you
shunt.
never know.
Was it 87% full throttle, I think I read?
Something nuts like that. Yeah.
Okay, science boxing.
Box.
And Max hits another fast lap.
All we need is another Kevin Magnussen parks the car in a pit lane.
Yeah.
He's P19, he may as well.
Where's Sainz coming out? Perez-ish?
Lockup.
Whoa,
Coming in.
speeding limit in the pit lane?
Science going on to the soft.
Please, no, please.
Let's not do that again.
Not again.
Soft
They
tyre,
should have had,
Carlos
so they've got
Sainz.
all the minions changing the tires, and they should have had, what's the main
Gru.
guy? On the front jack.
A guy just in a suit and a scarf. Like, here we go.
Big bald guy with a huge nose. just
That
getting
would be
involved.
so good. Someone needs to Photoshop that. That would be too good.
Yeah, so he's come out behind Perez.
On the soft tyre. So he's going to have pace.
He's going to zoom. He will zoom.
And obviously the car's lighter, so less wear on the tyre
Yeah.
with a lighter chassis.
So
He's still P13.
I mean, he's going to get a couple, he's got 2 seconds to Perez, right? Perez is on a hard. He's going to close this gap pretty quickly. They're going to get a good idea. The soft shouldn't have any warm-up issues, and they'll get a pretty good read on the pace of this tire outright. There's 22 laps to go.
Knowledge for show.
Yeah, exactly.
Knowledge
Let's
short,
look at this. Skirt.
Oof.
That looks right on the
I
money.
mean, he's handing
Close
those
their
tyres
cars.
back, so...
I mean, he's
it
not
doesn't
using them
matter.
tyres anymore, so it's fine.
Well, I mean, knowing Ferrari, they might do.
They might know.
You never know.
Cheers, lads. Take these off me, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
What is he doing?
Wheatley's
Oh.
having a...
What is he doing? He's inspecting those tyres, is he?
That is a circle. Can confirm.
Those are yellow. Bobby Schwartzman in the.
No, he was actually
I've
just.
not seen him in years.
What happened there was he was actually so impressed that the rear jack guy actually came out on time that he was just making sure that they got the right time. That, he was just checking that they actually,
I think Hugh Grant said, "I can't believe they didn't screw that one up."
Good lip reading there, Blake. Love that. George is looking on for he's got what, a 10-second gap between him and Lando up in P3.
Alonso pits in.
Yep, Alonso pits.
So now, Hamilton.
He wants a new engine.
And Norris can a new engine.
Yeah. GP3 engine.
Yeah, real quick change that.
Lando,
new engine.
I'm guessing them.
That's a retirement.
Oh no.
Oh, it is. He does want a new engine.
Yeah.
It is wow. Full stop.
Fernando Alonso is out of this race. Well, that's my prediction up the Swanee.
Yeah. Was it?
I'll put in P3.
Well,
never mind. Can't win them all.
Can't win them.
Can't win them all.
But is that one of those things with a little bit of foreshadowing? He's like, hey guys, I think we've got an issue with the energy deployment. Like, everything's fine. We'll just retire you in 4 laps.
The classic.
Yeah,
it's the Tommo jinx back again. Sorry,
Tommo jinx. He's done it again. He's done it. He's done it.
That's about the Vries up to P12. Come on, Nick. Come on, son. You could do it.
He's actually, he's looking pretty on it with Gasly.
Yeah.
Little cheeky move. Come on.
Here we go. Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Sainz now within 1 second of Perez as well. So hopefully, for his sake and Ferrari's sake, he needs to be flying by.
Yeah.
Absolutely flying by.
If our man Alex was in this race, where do you reckon he'd be right now?
I think he'd be.
I think genuinely
top 10, definitely.
Yeah, he's getting some. Alex would have taken some points this weekend for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It'd be like, look, Schumacher's P8, Bottas P9. They've not pitted that.
I think he'd be where Joe is on track in terms of like when it all shakes out, which is probably about a net P10.
Plan C confirmed.
Plan C for Leclerc.
Plan C confirmed. So it's plan confirmed.
Leclerc without the C. Right, let's see. Leclerc. Right, yeah, let's look at these. Yeah, Sainz only 2 laps into his soft stint. Yeah, 20 laps for Charles on those mediums. Still 20 laps to go. It's a big ask.
Here's a big ask.
Oh!
Side
on the inside of Perez. Didn't give him much room.
Move.
Elbows out, that was. And Leclerc's boxing.
Oh, Leclerc's in.
The 80% were correct.
He's
Well
boxing.
done, everyone.
Hold on to the 80%. I actually voted in the chat.
Yeah.
So I'm
80% of chat has mega wheel knowledge right now, man. Mega giga wheel knowledge.
Ferrari 2-stop. Looks like a decent enough
They've seen the pace that Sainz has in the softs, and they're like, well, yeah, but it.
Yeah, that's the play.
Is he going to come out behind Russell?
Oh God.
Russell's coming down the straight now.
I think he was
he's gonna
within
be
the
ahead,
pit stop
he'll be
window.
Leclerc soft. Where's George?
Yeah,
No.
he's fine. He's fine.
Ooh, just.
He'll be fine. Just.
So hard.
Yeah, that had a couple of.
He's not going to be.
They had a second leeway there.
19 laps.
Well,
He's got a new set of red sidewalls on him. Verstappen.
This is the time where Leclerc can become a hero once more at Monza. He's got to go out there and chase after Max.
Lewis comes in for the softs.
Do you not think Ferrari just give themselves a lot to do for no reason, though? Like, they actually were ahead out,
I mean,
I don't know.
The thing is, though, Red Bull know how to pull this strategy. They've done it numerous times. The whole Hungary strategy, where you kind of pull Max in, get on the soft tires, and then catch up and just about catch towards the end.
Yeah.
That's what they're hoping for.
This could be a good race. The thing is, we haven't seen them actually wheel to wheel on the track at all. No. And maybe they're avoiding those interactions to save lap time. Because if you get to the point where you're battling, he's already closing half a second a lap. Then you start defending, you're losing 1.5 seconds a lap. Then you need to stop. So,
well, it's 19 and a half seconds, 35 laps gone. That's the gap between Verstappen and Leclerc. So let's just keep an eye on that, shall we?
But Leclerc's going to be banging in purples.
Yeah. Lewis has just pitted, by the way. He's come out behind this whole train on softs, but he's got to get through Joe, De Vries,
a lot of pain.
Gasly,
A lot of pain.
Ricardo.
Right. Come then. Let's do another poll. Will Leclerc catch and pass Max Verstappen? I think that's a fair question to put out there. You've got 30 laps to cover a 19.5 second delta. But obviously, Max is on
No, it's
mediums.
only 19. It's like 18 laps for 19 seconds.
It just depends on how Verstappen's fall off towards the end, if they fall off towards the end.
He's going to have to gain like a second or more a lap.
Yeah.
I don't think he has that pace in his pocket.
It's a big ask.
That is the way to cut that cake.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a second per lap for,
Yeah.
18
And
laps.
then overtake him afterwards as well.
then
Yeah, then
just
that's
move
getting
down.
him.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
one
Red Bull
thing
is a
captured.
mission in a straight line.
Yep, that, and also Max will defend that like an absolute animal.
Like
as
a
well.
lion.
Yeah.
So if Sainz gets Norris, the only one I'm missing is Hamilton.
The outside one, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to hope he's fine through these guys.
He's confident, Blake is. He's confident. We'll see. We'll see.
You text me like, "Hey, what's your prediction?" It's like, I don't know. Here's some driving.
It's just natural.
Just spun a wheel and was just like, yeah, this will do.
It's insanely fraudulent. It's insanely fraudulent.
Norris box.
Norris in.
Right.
It's in.
Box.
Box.
Yeah,
Box.
36 laps on those mediums for Lando, so
Good effort.
he's pushed that stint. Long.
The McLarens are doing well.
Bruv, that gap's
Yeah.
growing.
gone up. The gap's gone up.
It's over
Oh, the
Verstappen.
gap has gone to
pulling
20.
away
The
from
gap
him.
has gone to 20 seconds.
We
this
are
is
finished, ladies and gentlemen.
This is embarrassing. That is bad.
Are we saying that it was a mistake not to put the hards on from Ferrari when Leclerc came in?
When he came in that early, yes, probably.
But even then, like Max would have caught him and overtaken.
This is what I mean. Is
Yeah.
it one of them that Max would have just?
Is it just inevitable?
It's inevitable,
Yeah.
or have Ferrari cocked up? Because I think it's easy to jump on Ferrari and be like, oh,
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, it's like, oh,
actually-
you guys have had a really crap season. You're
Yeah.
having a crap season. I think
He
maybe
didn't have the pace, in fairness.
You know-
And
Oh,
Lando's going to come out
Ooh, right in front of the
side
train.
by
here we
side
go.
with Ricardo.
Hello, mate.
Ricardo gets
with
ahead
Gasly,
of
with
Lando.
Gasly now. He needs to
Gasly.
squeeze him. Squeeze him.
Squeeze.
No, lads. What
You know
is
what's
that?
really annoying as well? Lando had a 5-second pit stop.
Ooh, Lewis.
And so goes Hamilton.
Opportunistic from Lewis
P7
Hamilton.
And
Two
here
positions
comes
in
Lewis
one.
Hamilton.
That was good from Lewis.
That was very
That was
good.
Capitalize
Although
on that.
Gasly's still there.
Oh,
No,
God.
he's got him.
Gasly done. Lewis, get it stopped. Nice.
What a dude.
Oh,
Wow.
What a dude.
That was lovely.
Shades of Silverstone, that one. Opportunistic,
Here
Car
comes
scrapping
Lewis
ahead of you.
Hamilton.
Make the move done. That was a great move from Lewis. Up to P7.
He's on the move.
Lando needs to heat up these tyres ASAP and get a move on.
Lando just needed a little bit on his in lap to make that.
Yeah.
He also had a 5-second pit stop.
Yeah.
Oh, that did not help.
would've-
Oh,
that
that did
would've-
not
that
help.
would've
That
got
did
him
not
out.
help.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
5.1. That
Oh,
would have got him
no.
out ahead of
And
him.
as that happened, I was saying how well
McLaren, man.
McLaren were doing this weekend. I was like, yeah, they're doing so good. Here we go.
yeah, this is the bad
That's a
pit
shame.
stop. Was it the front? Yeah, front right.
Oh,
Just a bit. Oh, they weren't sure. They weren't
Yeah,
sure.
just slow from the jack as well.
Dude, it's insane seeing the choreography of all those people required. The 2.2 second fit for
Is
tires
insane.
to
It
the car.
blows my
It's-
mind. It's
It's
insane.
mind blowing. You see it happen in real life, and you're like, you can't observe everything at the same time. You have to watch one
painful.
person and watch what they do through.
Hamilton?
Imagine taking a hatchback for an MOT and it gets done in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
You've not even sat down. You're actually lowering yourself into the seat to relax. And it's like, done.
Done. Yeah, safe, mate. Off you go.
Hamilton's got the move done on Ricardo.
And Norris gets Gasly.
Orlando's on softs, isn't he? So he's going to burn.
Yeah.
He actually did really well on that mediums, didn't
No, he did. He did well to
realised,
keep that, and I think more so the guys on hards. I think just were stuck in
Yeah.
the train.
Yeah,
the hard tire
yeah, true,
isn't
true. I think
that
it was stuck
great
behind
as well.
Bottas for a
So
bit.
Hamilton's got 19.5 to Perez, and
Yeah, Perez
not
has
so
some
many
hearts.
laps to do that.
As well.
Yeah, that's going to be a
big
tough
ask.
one.
Yeah.
Tough ask.
But Leclerc is finally banging in some purples now. Like
Right.
24.5.
What's McLaren doing now? Because Ricardo's ahead of Norris, but Norris is on the soft
Well, I
tyre,
think Lando will
so-
just actually overtake
I
him.
think
Just
he will just overtake.
we'll just get him.
Yeah, but they
Speaking
need
of
to let him.
Of which?
Speaking
He
of
will
the devil,
just get
yeah.
past him in DRS. Like,
Yeah, Ricardo didn't fight that. No
And
point.
that was a good spot to do it as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
because also now he can use his softs for the rest of the lap, pull away, and try and
Is he gonna-
maybe
is
stay
he
on the
gonna
back
get-
of Hamilton.
Is he going to attack Hamilton?
Also, boys, De Vries P10.
Let's go. Let's go, Nick.
Yeah, very good. Very, very solid.
Wow.
If he can just,
Nick
if he can,
has turned up
if he can
today.
stay with Gasly under his DRS,
Yeah.
I think he can just sit there till the end of the race.
Yeah.
But he's got Joe right on his heels on hard tires.
Yeah.
There's also, well, actually, I don't think Mick and Bottas will make it through on the softs that far.
No.
But
I mean, does
I-
De Vries go for a move on Gasly? Gasly actually
on, man.
defends.
Go on, De Vries.
Okay.
But like, if you're
Williams howitzer, man, it's coming.
if you're
There we
Nick
are.
in this race, are you risking it? I mean, he's showing that he's not gonna just sit there.
Yeah,
But This is points or nothing.
Yeah.
Is what this is right now. For
This is his.
I think if you've got...
Nick!
He's having a look. He had flashbacks of the wrong brake balance.
Yeah. Rear end stepping out. Another fast lap for Leclerc.
It's still Alex's car, okay?
Yeah,
so I'm
exactly.
backing it, all right? I'm backing it.
So you're saying it's the car?
All the car. Okay. I just love that car.
See, Leclerc set 2 fast laps, and yet the gap is still over 19 seconds.
Leclerc's making no inroads.
I did not see this, like in terms of like the pace. Like
Max.
he's on one step softer compound, and he is not able to close the gap.
Yeah.
That come Sunday, that Red Bull is insane. It looked good on Friday in the long runs, but that's nuts.
It feels like kind of like an F1 manager where it doesn't matter what tire you put on.
Yeah,
the performance is the same for all of them. I'm sure they'll.
By the way, please.
Yeah, please, come on. It's frustrating. Go hard to hard compound. Come on, Nick. And Nick's got the mediums as well over Pierre.
Just be careful. He's got Guan Yu Zhou right on him.
Yeah. Joe's going to want to.
I like Guan Yu Zhou.
Yeah, man.
He's been solid, man. He's been super solid.
He's been so unlucky as well.
Very unlucky. Very unlucky.
3 different mechanical failures from points positions.
Yep.
Got yeeted out of the place at Silverstone.
Yeah, I think he's proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah,
think
me
about-
included. I didn't think he would be good enough.
When you look at his F2 records, it's easy to kind of write that off as just, it's just another pay driver. But actually, I think he's taken this opportunity and run with it.
I mean, he was always fast. I think it's just like, when a driver in F2 doesn't like win a championship within like 3 years.
They haven't won it.
Well, then you're just not good enough. Yeah.
I think the only thing missing around Joe is the PR machine to help gas him up and keep him in the light. Because when you're in an Alfa Romeo, you're not getting a whole lot of screen time. You're not getting a whole lot of recognition. Yeah. People aren't watching those press releases because they're like, well, this guy finished what? They got a couple points.
That team becomes Audi.
Yeah, exactly. But like whoever's in his corner right now need to be backing because he's done a solid job. And
he's done very well.
Yeah, he deserves to be in there.
Agreed. Because actually, I know we've got a graphic prepared for this, but the Porsche deal with Red Bull seems to be off now completely.
Yeah.
Porsche have officially announced it.
It's been the worst kept secret that got resolved before it even happened.
Yeah.
What is that, man?
I mean, ultimately, just because of the strength of how good Red Bull are right now as an independent team, and they want to keep it that way because they just don't want that control that Porsche wanted from them. I mean, Porsche say they're still monitoring the situation, right, of F1. But
we get a separate Porsche, just work.
Porsche Andretti.
Porsche Andretti, man.
Make it happen.
Well, that's the one that people keep saying makes the most sense. Like having 2 brands that want to come into F1, just come together and be a stronger deal for F1 to allow it to happen.
But like
Stroll's boxing to retire.
Yeah, brakes issue.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Double
DNF.
Oh wow!
For
Double
the
DNF for
Astons.
Aston.
Those when you're at the track and you're packing up and you're going to the airport off a double DNF. That's a low, man. I mean, after you get kicked a couple times, you get a little bit numb to it, but
you're packing up and the cars are still driving around the track, and it's like
you've closed your laptop, you've gone back into the motorhome, and you're just like, so should we look at any data? And it's like, we already looked at all of it.
Yeah,
and it's bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
And it was horrendous.
Let's wrap it up and go home, boys.
But back on the Andretti thing, though, is if you tie Andretti with Porsche, does that remove a lot of the arguments that other teams are lobbying against Andretti coming in? You add more legitimacy. And more
And they have a relationship in Formula E, right?
I was literally about to say, I swear.
Porsche, Andretti, that's a thing in Formula E.
Oh, is it? Right.
Yeah,
okay.
They've got a relationship there already.
But that's the argument a lot of people are making is if you have Porsche in there as part of the Andretti deal, then it becomes more legitimate for F1 and the teams to accept because you're getting this great brand of Porsche in. And you're also then getting that injection of the stateside, which obviously the F1 owners will love.
With a serious motorsport pedigree.
Yeah, exactly. So makes a lot of sense. As we now see Schumacher v Latifi.
All over the back of Latifi, yeah.
This is a mid-off.
Nah, that Latifi car's too quick. That Williams, look.
That's actually insane.
Latifi gave him space.
He's pulled it off.
To be fair,
You saw Latifi. What Latifi said is, he's alongside me. I better get out of the way.
Latifi jumped out of the way there.
Yeah, that was
good.
I mean, he might come back at him. He
will. He's coming back now.
Go on, Latifi.
He's through.
Livery overtakes him.
Goat Tiffy back again.
Did Mick give him the position? That seemed very...
No,
Mick
he's
no,
backing it back
he's-
now.
Oh, this is turned into a worldly battle.
Scrap this. This was
This
the
is the most
worldie I was talking
excitement we've
about.
had already.
Yes, this has.
For P14.
This is for P13 and 14.
This is what I meant when I said Latifi will deliver a worldie, all right?
Yeah. World
For
in a
us.
battle.
A great battle for
the viewers.
P14.
Go on, Mick. He locks it up and fully sends it down the inside. Lots of white smoke when they're late.
Goodness me. There must have been half a second where Mick was like, I am going to have an almighty
Yeah.
accident here.
I wonder what
ball
the
there, though.
inside of that Williams side pod looks like.
That's a good little move, that. But yeah, obviously with the Porsche deal potentially off, maybe Honda. Like, would you like to? I mean, because what was your experience, Blake, working with Honda? Did you have much?
No.
Is there much to glean from that at all?
No, like when I was at the factory was when they were working with Honda, and when you're at the factory, I didn't have any interaction with the engine stuff. So when I was at the track, I would talk with the guys more. But just take a step back and look from the outside. The Honda Red Bull relationship has been awesome, especially if you compare it to how difficult the Honda McLaren era was.
Yeah.
Then you know, Honda sorted their stuff out, get on board with a works team, or with a good chassis manufacturer, and those guys are strong,
Yeah.
developing, improving. So
Well, I know Dan was saying last week that, Red Bull would consider selling AlphaTauri if the right bid came in, potentially, and a Honda Works team.
yeah, and then
I'd love to see that.
and you still get engines.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Still get engines?
And you make your engine supply even happier. because they've got a works
We'd
team.
have the Honda white livery every weekend.
Please.
Chef's kiss, mate.
That'd be lovely.
Perez in.
Let's make it BAR when they split the
Well,
livery.
so what was the gap?
I didn't.
There's a bit
Perez
of a
pits,
weird
yeah?
one.
Yeah.
I really don't think Perez was at danger from Hamilton or Norris at all. So I don't know why he's
I'm
pit.
surprised they brought him in, unless it's just literally.
Because the gap was what, 19 seconds?
Yeah. Well, there's Hamilton and Norris gone.
So they're gone.
Because they're both on softs as well, so he's not going to find it like, I don't know.
He's got 10 laps to close it. I mean, he will have a bit of pace in hand over them.
Yeah,
He
he's
should
no
do.
Red Bull at the end of the day as well, so.
I think he'll also just be happy just to see his brake not on fire as he leaves.
Yeah. Wow.
As we now see Joe.
No.
Oh, Joe trying to ruin the party for De Vries.
What was? Oh, is that
Joe, leave
was
it
that
alone.
smoke
No,
out
it's
the
just-
back?
it's just a
No, I think he just
Nah, I think
lost,
just
yeah.
a block.
That looked super scary. 'Cause
Come
it was,
on,
it was
Nick.
so
It
late in
was
the corner.
consistent as well. It was consistent smoke through turn one. But no, I think it's
Again, he's
we're fine.
got
We're
that
fine.
straight line speed to defend. That's the thing. Like, Latifi was able to put up more of a fight than he should have really been able to against Mick. And I think we're seeing, that straight line speed around a track like this. You have to dial the car for straight
He's
line
done it.
speed.
He's done it as well.
That looked a bit more. That looked a bit more.
Perez get slowed down?
I don't know if he stopped that in time.
That looked, yeah. The signs one you could tell. I think he stopped in time. That one kind of looked like he was just over the edge.
He was still locking
and they're
up
inspecting
over
the
line.
tyre now.
They're really
They're
analysing
actually
it.
looking at the inside of the wheel rim on that one. So if that was the front right, maybe they're just double checking that they haven't had anything come apart on that.
Oh, man, like, since Leclerc pitted, he's only closed that gap by 2.5
3
seconds.
seconds is
Insane.
woeful.
Okay, Nick is probably going to lose his position.
Okay.
I'm not
Come
gonna lie
on,
to you
Nick.
all.
Come
No,
on,
no, no,
no,
no,
you
no, he's
can't
fine.
do it. You've got
He's got a bit of a toe from Gasly. He hasn't got DRS, but he's got a
Joe
bit
is
of a toe.
also on hard tires, but
It's,
he's
he's going off for Nick. Don't know.
he's going to have a tough time on that.
He's also got to be careful because Verstappen's coming to lap them, so he's got to be clever about where he lets them
Yeah,
through.
true.
He's got to hope that Max gets blue flags for Joe before,
Yeah.
and then use that to get away
somewhere.
like that.
Yeah.
He's now got to go.
He's got to
full-
let him
He's got to
through
go
through
full
Curve
beans
Grande.
and let Max through as easily as he can, even easier than that was.
Right here through Curva Grande.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe
but
though.
he won't though because he's too far ahead.
Too far.
Yeah,
He's
he's too
too
far.
long.
He'll have to be
He doesn't want to
after
get a penalty
Lesmos.
either. That's the thing. Blue
Max
flag
also
penalty.
looked like he lost a bit of time overtaking there. You saw how much the Williams pulled away from on that exit. I think he went a little bit deep
Yep.
on that DRS.
Sylvester
That's just
Stallone.
alone.
Goodness.
Just chilling.
As you do. Great content. Love that.
Fun fact, that wasn't... I don't think that was live. Because
That wasn't
on
live,
the TV
no.
in the background was
It was
the
the
Latifi
Latifi
battle.
Being
Schumacher
lied
battle.
to.
We've been lied to.
Yeah, we had to just show the celebrity who's
Yeah,
at
Sylvester
the
Stallone.
circuit.
That's good from
That was from Zandvoort actually.
Yeah.
That clip.
Yeah. They're like, right, we can use this next race.
Perez purple sector 2. So those new softs on Perez aren't working. Is he going to come back through? Is that interval? Yeah, he's got 5 seconds to Norris.
But he could do that.
I think that's doable.
Hey, big up
Hey,
guy
abs-
with a super chat. my favourite Aston Villa fan. Not
I miss the Villa.
no, West Ham bet.
I miss the football, to be fair. Can't believe we're going a month without it. I'm fuming.
It's actually long, the international break.
Yeah, it's long. Imagine
Nah,
Formula
cheers,
1
guy,
had an
mate.
international
Appreciate
break
it, man.
as well.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
international. They have a national break.
National break.
Yeah, we're now going to go and do some small races at Donington
with
Park.
Donington Park, Brands hat.
Did I see in the chat that Ted's saying that Leclerc's catching Verstappen?
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, in a
Striking distance in 40 laps.
in a quite literal sense, yes, he is
striking
catching.
distance tomorrow.
When he's catching him, next race, Singapore.
I can't believe it's Singapore already.
De Vries has
It's mad.
closed that
I
gap.
could not believe they were like, oh, there's only 8 races or 7 races. I was like, are we really that far through the season?
He's pulled the gap.
De Vries within DRS of Gasly, 2.5 to Joe as well. So
That Max blue flag pulled those 2 cars apart,
Yes,
and it's
yes.
giving De
Did a
Vries
really
a little
good job.
pull to get up on Albon
That's
now.
good.
Did.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's helped him out like
A lot.
properly.
Lot.
come on, Nick.
Nick.
Super Nick. Nick the Goat. That's going to be.
We got to
if he
come up with something
replaces
better.
Latifi.
Oh,
Schumacher gets past Sonoda.
Oh,
Bit of a race to forget for Yuki.
Yuki's having a little stinker.
How beautiful is that Ferrari car, though? Seriously,
It is lovely.
It's
That's another reason.
even with the weird, even with
lovely.
the alternative livery, that car looks so damn nice.
It's another reason why it's a shame that it just hasn't panned out. This would have been such
on,
a
Nick.
beautiful car to like be actually fighting the champion.
There's a run here. There's a run here on Gasly.
Come on, Nick.
Oh, not quite.
I would not
he
go for
lifted
that
up
if I was
anyway.
him.
Yeah. That's the thing. Maybe he's
Close
having
up.
to lift and
Mick would
coast a bit.
have.
Mick
would've
would
done-
have, yeah. But
on,
Gasly also wouldn't be the type of guy to see the car on the outside and go, oh, I should give him some room.
Yeah.
Just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think at this point now, having seen Joe so close behind before,
Yeah.
if I was him now, you play it safe. Just stick in
Consolidate,
DRS.
yeah.
Just let him drag you
Just
away. From
let him drag you away. Don't go for the move because you
still
know
out DRS
it could unravel.
Yeah, but so Joe is outside of his DRS window right now.
Yeah.
So
Yep. It's good.
DRS train away. Ciao.
Exactly.
Ricardo.
Slow.
It's
Danny,
slow.
no.
Yellow
Danny,
flags.
no.
And he's in the worst position ever.
God. Are we gonna have a safety car?
It could be a safety car. That's such a bad position.
No.
That's literally the worst.
feel so
That's
bad for
safety car.
Ricardo.
That's a safety car. It's got to be.
Engine problem, Ricardo.
Oh, that's so
In between
peak.
Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2.
That's a very bad spot.
Engine
Safety
problem.
car for sure.
All the Mercedes engines going pop today.
We haven't
That's
seen
see
that.
that often.
peak. He was actually genuinely big up Daniel Ricciardo. He's actually having a good race.
He was having a
good race. He was.
So I'd be fuming.
It's commiseration for the Honey Badger. Very, very
I
unfortunate.
mean, they're gonna throw Max on his. He's got another set of softs. Max had 2 sets of
Do
softs.
you reckon this is full safety car or VSC?
I reckon it might be full, you know.
Oh, it's not a nice place for the car to be. They've got
it
to
must be
decide soon.
full.
This,
I'm not sure there's a
This
gap on
is
the
it.
inside.
Like Ferrari are out.
Ferrari are out. The minions are out.
But they're gonna take.
De Vries P9. Nick, come on. Yeah, mate, that's going to have to be a safety car.
Yeah, that's
Surely.
But this happened the other week. What takes them so long to?
Safety
there we go.
car.
There we go.
It was a whole lap. It was a whole lap of a local yellow flag while the car's parked there
Right.
without a recovery spot.
Is this now Verstappen at risk? Because obviously Leclerc's on the softs.
Verstappen, with the
Oh,
safety
Russell
car, does he
in.
have a free stop? Does Max have a free stop with the safety
Ma-
car?
Max and Leclerc have gone
Max
past
is on
pit
the
lane.
cusp.
George has just pitted.
George
24
Pitt,
seconds
Sainz
back
is
now,
Pitt.
though.
It's gonna be mad.
Signs.
Science on new softs, you know. That's
Science
going
for
to be a
softs.
threat.
Who did the safety car catch them at the end of the pit lane?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't
I don't know. Haven't seen any.
Yeah, the
haven't
mini map.
Seen the
It
safety
would
car
be
yet.
useful. The mini map was still there.
Will we
'cause
definitely
they were
go
showing
green,
that.
by the way, as well?
Was that?
Do you reckon there's enough time to actually?
There's
get the
enough
car
time
out
to
of
get
the
that
way?
car out of the way. I think.
so, yeah.
Because they've got to let all that cars through.
I think
and-
that takes maximum 2 laps, and then you have one
Safety
more lap.
car's in front of Russell.
Okay.
Max is
safety car's
asking
not
about
caught
making a
them.
free stop.
He might be okay then, Max. To be fair,
If he hasn't caught the safety car,
Yeah, I think he'd be
if
fine.
he caught the safety car, he would be.
I think he
finish.
could pit. He could pit.
Yeah, I think Verstappen can pit here. Lando's in.
I mean, they can all pit
Staff.
now, basically. Just be a straight sprint to the end of 1 lap or 2.
Leclerc's
right,
been as well.
Verstappen's in.
Leclerc, stop him.
Leclerc's got to stop now.
Yeah. He just said on the
So-
radio.
but we're gonna have
Well,
Just a
But-
sprint race.
Yeah, but
Scrap at the
Leclerc-
end.
Leclerc only has a scrub soft left. He's used
no.
2 softs.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Ooh,
Oh
knowledge.
dear.
Blake knowledge. Back at it again.
Is my top 5 looking pretty good? No, it's not, because Lewis.
Should we quickly
Lewis
reflect on the? Let's quickly reflect on the predictions. Let's see how.
Get him up.
Let's get a. But we'll get it over the course of this safety car. We'll
I
get the
never get
predictions
this
back
stuff
up.
right, so that's why I'm kind of chirpy about it.
Let's see who's the most washed of us all.
Yeah.
Well, Mercedes both top 5 means I'm in the mud. So, yeah, it's not looking good for me.
Not looking good, Brev.
It's not looking
Right, let's have a scrap.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's see.
You're on the money. You're on the money.
That's nuts. Wow. I beg you put money on that before we start.
Are you going to buy me a beer later?
Absolutely, mate.
That's crazy.
Thoroughly deserved.
Wow.
Wow.
Fair play.
Man who works
The
in
Tommo
F1.
jinx is alive and well.
That
was
was the
engineering
only
F1.
time I've ever guessed anything right.
Well, you've done it in the right place, in public, for everyone to know.
Mom, yeah, I got the prediction right.
in 4K, with 5 cameras in 4K as well. It all adds up. That's 20K, mate. Caught in 20K.
Oh, it's going to take ages to get that car. I feel like it's going to take a while to get this car out of the way.
I think, so on the outside of that is a gravel trap. I think the next extraction is down on the straight to Ascari. Boys are getting a workout today.
I'm honestly not sure they're going to get racing again. I want them to.
That
but
looks, yeah.
Just go really slow, safety car.
yeah, safety car. Just really, really
piss off
slow
all
it
the
down.
drivers and just go really slow.
We
Because
still
you
got
know,
4 laps, to be fair.
yeah, I reckon so.
That's going to be a crane.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
Darren Phillips. I agree with Blake as well. Of course you did, Darren. Yeah,
Yeah,
we all agreed
Darren,
with Blake at the
come
start.
on,
Yeah,
man.
Come on.
I see how it is.
It's gonna have to
Yeah,
be a
where is,
crane
we
job.
haven't seen the safety car on screen yet.
No.
It's not there.
It's still
it
not
was
picked
ahead
up
of
the leader.
Russell.
It's still not picked up the leader.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader.
Yeah, the car's not in a great spot, is it?
No.
Not at all.
No, this actually now might have a very big chance of just ending on the safety car.
Yeah, but like,
would be
we're
annoying.
3 laps to go. And
This
they
is
still
where
have to
you
let lap
need-
traffic through.
Yeah.
This is
that's
where
the
you need
problem,
Michael Mass.
Michael Massey's
How
just
dare
like,
you.
just do what you like.
Dear me.
Just end it. Leave the car out there. It's fine.
Leave the car out.
It's a joke. That's what that's called. It's called a joke. Anyway,
You have to really preface that.
Yeah. There were people typing on Twitter ready to go.
they will
Yeah.
get ready.
Yeah, they do have to let all the cars through.
Okay, so Science New Soft, Leclerc and Russell both scrubbed.
Someone said in the
Say,
chat,
like,
any chance of a red flag? That would be serious Michael Massey behaviour. If he was like, lads, let's just
Red
do a
flag
3
it now
laps
so we can get 3 laps in.
Red flag it now, boys.
I mean, it would be vibes.
I'm not
but-
saying no. Obviously, it's not a no. Like, do it. But
Oh, De Vries P9. He could afford to lose
That's
a
all I even
position
care about
and
at this
still.
Oh my God.
Points.
Watch the conspiracy theories come about. This Danny Rick purposely stopping as his former teammate
Oh,
to secure the win. Because you know,
they've literally not moved the car.
That car's not going
anywhere.
anywhere.
Nah, this is going to be
That's
an
it.
unsafe car.
The marshal's given up.
Because they have to wait now for a gap to roll this car where, like, around the corner
Yeah.
where Seb retired.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Like it.
Yeah, it's going to
This
take so
is-
long. 'Cause that
No,
is-
no, wait. There's the gap right there. It's
behind.
straight behind them, yeah.
Okay, so it needs to roll it
Can't
back.
move the car. for some
Come
reason.
on. Come on. Come on.
Oh,
Well, I mean, the safety car's
finally
here.
seen it.
Now
it's
they-
all over the
Now
gap.
they
Now
have
just
a...
stop. Just everyone stop.
Yeah, no,
on track.
Bert Mylander just kind of go real slow. Like, I'm talking 5 miles per hour.
He's literally caught the worst possible car. He's caught third. Like, everyone's going to have to go past the safety car.
Oh,
again.
yeah,
Max
yeah.
is at the back.
Oh, they've got the
cranes out.
The
The
Oh, this
crane's
is
out.
Pointless.
1 lap maximum.
Not even. Not even.
I think this ends on the safety car. Really does.
That is a shame. That is a shame. Yeah, let's do. We've got a little quiz prepared. Actually, I think now's a good time while we wait on this safety car to get the old quiz going. Let's test all of our and your knowledge watching at home. Question 1: the race lap record at Monza. Who set the? I can't. I can't read. I can't
It
talk
is a
today.
1:21.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
It's been a
My
long
brain
day.
just decided to just give up on me briefly.
It's been a long day.
Who set the fastest lap at Monza? I'm gonna say Leclerc.
Is it one of them records where it's old from like the mid-thousands?
I think it's
when it was
Schumacher.
like Schumacher or
I think
something.
Schumacher.
I think it might. Is it Schumacher or Montoya? Because
I think-
Montoya's got a couple of those old ones still
Montoya.
sticking around.
I think Schumacher.
Barrichello out of nowhere.
What was that? Barrichello.
It was
Rubens
Barrichello.
Barrichello.
Flipping heck.
Knowledge.
Okay.
There's
You
got
some great knowledge in the
Rubens,
chat.
go
I thought it wasn't one
Well done,
of those old Ferraris, but fair play.
Couple Rubens is in the
Barrichello.
chat. Someone said Daniel Ricciardo, not
Barry
not
Manilow.
right now.
Oh, they've only just. So what?
He's
Sorry,
only
the
just
safety
caught.
car.
Yeah, we're finished, lads.
Oh, yeah, no, we're done, we're done.
We are
race
finishing
is-
behind a safety car.
Unless, no, they're done.
He basically burnt my hand and caught the wrong car. And then now everyone's got
Unless,
to drive to the back
the
again.
thing was though, at the start of the year, there was a thing like this, a safety car period. I think it might be in the first race even, where they just said, let's race. They'd let all the lap cars through properly, but they just then didn't let them catch up to the train.
Yeah. They just need to get that. You don't want back
He's
markers
fuming
going,
inside.
You don't want back markers going like the
Who's that?
clappers trying to
That
catch
was the
up.
chairman of Ferrari.
Question 2. Other than Ferrari, which constructor has won the most Italian Grand Prix? Start with you, Blake, because you went last time. Come on. Where's the
most
knowledge?
Italian.
Other than Ferrari.
McLaren?
I think McLaren.
McLaren? Question?
Tell me what you think.
I'm going to
about me.
say Lotus.
That's
I'm probably
very
wrong.
Lotus.
Alfa Romeo in the 50s.
And the answer is it's McLaren.
It is.
McLaren. Oh, wow.
Random.
Knowledge,
I'm
strength, and
guessing
integrity.
everything today.
GG.
But smashing it.
Question 3. How many drivers on the current grid have won at Monza? Ooh. question.
Not including the one we're about to watch right now. It is.
I want to say 4. Well, Vettel. Actually, no, it'd be more than that. Vettel, Lewis, Leclerc,
I think it's
Ricardo, Gasly,
6.
I'm gonna
Seven? Did Alonso win one?
Alonso. But Alonso must have done at some point.
7 then. 7.
6. I'm going to say 6.
Is it
It's
6?
6.
Oh,
The answer is
you
6.
had it.
The answer is 6. Yeah,
But
this
mine
race
was
isn't
also
getting going
one.
again.
Is that it?
This is definitely ending on a safety car. This would be the moment where they'd go, we're coming in now.
When was the last time Red Bull won at
Although the
Monza?
car isn't
In a
there.
lap from now. In one lap from
I was
now.
gonna
was
say,
the last
yeah.
time Red Bull won at Monza.
It's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Seb won in the Toro
2011.
Rosso.
2011.
I think
You
it's
said that
2011.
really concerningly confidently as well.
Yeah, because I remember.
I'm stealing your answer.
I think it was that. I remember that weekend distinctly because everyone thought, oh no, Red Bull can't win this one because their car is just too slow in a straight line. 2011, their Renault engine was slow. Their game plan was, get pole, pull away from DRS, lead the whole race. They came with the skinniest rear wing ever, and Vettel put it on pole and just did what he does best in that era of car and got away.
I'd love it if that was now the wrong answer.
I was saying 2013.
And the
Could be
answer
wrong, isn't
is
Oh, it's 2013.
He's like, I guess it's 2013.
I mean, they did the same thing then as well.
Yeah, true.
Skinny ass rear wing. Who won
and the
it then?
race. will
Come
be-
on, it's
behind the
clear.
safety
Come on,
car.
says Leclerc. Leclerc's
Under
chomping at the bit. He wants a piece of that Red Bull
That's it.
action.
Nail in the coffin. That's it.
Yeah,
Nail on
we're
the
finished.
car.
Blake is on the. You made that call because now your prediction's spot on.
Yeah.
It would have been shenanigans.
You
if-
were on the phone to the FIA and
Yeah.
it's like, listen, let's just end it here.
using your contacts, mate.
Well, that is
Know
it.
your game.
Rigged.
That's a bit of a shambles, really, because they had, 5
You know
and a half
what's going to
laps
happen
move
now?
one
You know what's
car.
going to happen now is the hashtag F1 fixed is going to come out.
Yeah, I
for
can't
sure.
wait. I cannot wait.
Of course.
Oh, it's
Look,
ending now. Good stuff. Yeah, great. Love that.
No, he's getting ready. The motorcycle
with
road
his-
racer.
He's gonna wait.
what's the
Is
point?
he gonna wait for the
Come
lap
back,
early?
Agostini.
What's the point?
No, he's getting ready. He's getting ready for it next lap. So yeah, that's it.
What do we
Very
think
Anticlimactic ending.
about using the red flag? Because the red flag, should be for when there's, you need to repair something or whatever. In an instance like that, when the car's clearly on a part of the track that it can't be recovered easily, even under a safety car,
Yeah.
what do we think about using the red flag?
I
then?
think it's a bit of a weird way to think about it, but I think they should kind of gamify it and go with the F1 game. It takes 2 laps. You can only get 2 laps of safety car on the F1 game. That's it. So if they think it's going to take more than 2 laps to clear a car,
Yeah.
maybe they should start red flagging it.
Because they must know beforehand.
Because
which
that
parts,
genuinely took 5 laps.
That took 5 laps. That took a whole 5 laps.
They must know beforehand, like which parts of the track are really difficult to recover a car, which aren't. And then if a car stops at that part of the track, okay, they don't need to think on the spot so much. That's what I mean. I think there's too much thinking on the spot.
Yeah, it took 5 laps to do that. I think generally they should just kind of put a directive of like, we're trying to hopefully theoretically always have just 2 laps of safety car and that's it.
Oh, bring back Michael Massey, man. He was well entertaining, fam. Get him back, mate. Get him back. I'm saying it now.
Well, that was
live
it.
on the airwaves.
He was just a pure entertainment.
Well,
match,
He was entertainment. He was whatever you say. He was entertainment.
This absolutely nails
WWE
on
settings.
is that your actual prediction then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was nailed on.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Smashed
5 for
Wow,
5.
smashed
That's
it.
outstanding.
That is pure luck.
Imagine,
Take it, mate.
imagine
Take
Red
it.
Bull engine. just
Safety
gives
car
up now.
ending. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
De Vries, P9.
De Vries.
Gamers.
De Vries P9.
De Vries
Exceptional.
P9.
Exceptional.
Zero today.
2 points. Takes Williams' total to 6 now.
Latifi is now 21st in the Drivers' Championship.
Correct.
Yep.
And Max Verstappen wins the Italian, Grand Prix. Which, to be fair, you can't really argue too much. I think he had the pace. I think it's a deserved win.
Oh no,
It was clear after that Ferrari's early stop under the safety car, and it's like, you're not really making up much ground on that. You've got new bags. Max pits again later. They pit, and it's like he's got a medium and you've got a soft.
Yeah.
And the gap's not closing.
Yeah,
you need over a second a lap. So
Gorgeous George, another podium as well.
Yeah. Mr. Consistent. T3. Science 4th, Lewis 5th.
Yeah.
good
recovery
recovery
from
drive.
that
Yeah, dude.
Good recoveries from Science and Lewis, I can't lie.
Very, very, considering where that Mercedes pace is relative to the Ferrari, I think Lewis to get up to ahead of Perez as well.
Yeah.
This didn't work out for Perez, did it? Because he pitted towards the end, didn't he?
Yeah, and he had
was
that
a
early,
mistake in
he had
that.
that early pit.
He had to dedicate earlier to doing a 2-stop. I feel like
If Perez had stayed out.
Yeah, the medium pitting for a hard on lap, 12 or 14 or something, that's going to mess your race up.
Yeah.
I think there's isn't there now mathematical chance Max wins the title in Singapore?
Oh, yeah, interesting. Does anyone in chat know?
I think there is. I think there is a scenario where he could win it in Singapore.
Yeah. I'd be interested to crunch the numbers and see, or how early, what's the earliest stage Max can
And there's
now
De Vries on screen, P9.
De Vries.
Amazing.
That's so good.
You know
That's
what?
so good to
Out
see.
of everything, out of everything, that is the most good feel story of the entire weekend.
That is genuinely sensational in a Williams. That is.
And
now-
I want to hear his,
He was
radio.
there the whole time.
He was.
He was
On
in
merit.
that.
Yeah,
he was in
it
that
wasn't
on
like a
merit.
fluke
Top five.
thing. He just on pace, just got that.
Just there. Yeah.
Yep.
That's sensational.
Question is now, does Nick's seat?
That was a tongue twister.
He does. Yes, is the correct answer.
I mean, I think he's passed the test with flying colours.
Yeah.
And I think if Williams want again a known entity, someone who's got a point to prove, he'd argue he should have been in F1 a long time ago. Winning F2 is when he did. Like, I think he's put himself right in the shop window now for Williams.
Yeah.
Also,
testing,
the
F2 champion.
in chat, a good point. The Monza curse is real. So Leclerc won 2019, DNF in 2020. Gasly won in 2020, DNF in 2021. Ricciardo won in 2021, DNF this year.
So don't put bets on Max Verstappen winning next year. Just put that one out there.
Nick De Vries.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
We can all get behind that.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, man, that's so good. Man.
That's it.
It's honestly
a
cool
hero.
to see him just step into that car, having driven another car earlier in the weekend, to get up to grips with it. One small fumble in qualifying because the steering wheel was different, you know? And then to come through and deliver on the points, he had some good wheel-to-wheel racing, and he kept his nose clean.
He just said his shoulders are dead. Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. His neck ain't used to it.
Yeah.
The G-forces you pull in an F1 car.
Hopefully you'll be in an F1 car.
What is the recovery period for surgery for appendicitis?
Good question.
Because they've got to cut you up, don't they?
Yeah, one of my friends.
There is a bit of a break now, isn't there, between
Yeah, so we got 2 weeks
Brrrake
off.
F1?
I think.
See the plug?
Cheers for that soft promo.
Bit of a break now. But is it there's 2 weekends, no racing, and then Singapore.
I think if it was a double header, I think he would.
And
be missing that one as
Singapore's
well.
the toughest race physically, I think, on the calendar, isn't it, for the drivers?
longest, literally.
Yeah, you need to be good on like hydration, everything else. And if you're out of it, you just lose it.
And Max, the streak continues. This is now 5 in a row. So Seb's 9 streak it's getting close. It's getting close.
It is, yeah.
And the
They
way he's
just have
driving
so
at the
much
minute,
pace.
yeah,
They just have so much pace as well, Red Bull. That's crazy.
Just the car, though.
it's all the car. It's clear. Car merchant. What did we make of that? So let's give the race a quick out of 10, I think, boys. What do we think out of 10? Obviously, it did end a bit of a damp squib at the end, unfortunately, with a safety car. But as a whole, I mean, yeah.
It's going to go with just a mellow 5 out of 10.
6.
I'm on
I'd say
5.
4. I'd say 4.
Because like the best thing about this race was hanging out with you guys, and there was like the possibility of stuff happening in the race, but it didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Everything that could have happened didn't happen.
You're forgetting about the Latifi Schumacher scrap.
Yeah, exactly.
How can you give this
that brought it from a 3 to a 5.
Yeah, a bit of
What's
gas,
chat saying?
a bit of
4,
gas,
4.
man. Lewis and Alonso, that was fun for a couple laps.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But you know, in terms of like, it was the race of what could have been.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately it was. Let's have another look at our predictions. Now the race is officially over. I don't think they've changed since we last showed them on
we looked
screen.
at the start of the safety car.
Am I right?
What's Jonathan telling you?
We can now
Come on.
confirm.
Is there an outside chance that Blake cocked up?
I think I got them all.
No, I think he genuinely got all
Did you
5
put
of them.
Perez top 5 though?
No, I didn't.
look.
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow. I've been fully exposed today. There you go.
Tommo exposed. Wheel knowledge.
You've got
exposed.
a nice kind of order of, first, second. Niran picks up the silver medal. Well done.
Like a silver there.
Aarav just
Cheers, Georgian.
scrapes onto the podium, and then I'm Ferrari strategy in the corner crying. You win some, you lose some. But no, unfortunately, I think red flag probably was the right.
They need to start. If their goal is to have good entertainment and good racing, when they know that there's a difficult recovery last year, where he was parked there, red flag it. Let them come in. They're going to change tires anyway. Then let them. If you want to improve the spectacle of the show, do it. But that is such a cut and dry, clear way to do it. It's easy to rearrange the grid, laps, cars. It's fine.
There's no
That's
argument
the thing
to
as
that.
well. Yeah, it does have to be consistent though, because you could get a situation where if Daniel had parked 20 laps in,
And people want red flag, and they want a safety car, and they're on.
it does become a little bit difficult maybe then. But
I think it's just a case of like, if it's in the last part of the race, it's obviously very techie sometimes. No one wants a race to end on the safety car. And in that case, maybe they just look at, okay, is it going to take more than 2 laps to get out of the way? No, just red flag. And they just do that all the time.
Yeah.
But then that could also be subjective, and somebody else could say that looks like a 4-lap safety car to me. But this is actually, it's not exciting, but it's kind of fair.
Yeah, no, it's totally fair.
There's no way
the
to
safety
rig
car
it.
was going to be called out either way. Did they need the red flag? No, they didn't need it.
Yeah.
And they just did their best. They got that car out the fastest they could.
I think this is a good opportunity to kind of reflect at the end of the day. This has happened, and it's been a bit of a boring end to the race, but we can look at it and be like, okay, was it fair? Like, should things change? Maybe this is just the way it should be.
Did anybody get super unlucky from it as well? Because that's what people tend to look at, is who got unlucky, because they feel like
True.
And I don't,
Perez got unlucky, so he'll feel hard done by.
Yeah.
But
Leclerc will as well, but he wouldn't have overtaken Max, but he will.
But he feels get hard done by because there was opportunity to maybe attack Max.
But
ultimately, before the Ricciardo retirement, no one apart from Perez got that unlucky with it. So
and again, when you're evaluating these things, you have to take the drivers' names away. You just have to look at driver 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you want to preserve. It's the balance, isn't it? It's preserving the competitive integrity of sport versus the entertainment product.
Yeah.
And there's never going to be like a cut and dry way of managing that.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you had a serious systematic thing where every race was like safety car finishes and they were getting super boring, you might say, all right, let's do something about that. Let's get that 4-lap shootout.
This is
at
a
the end.
rarity. I mean, when was the last time a race ended even under?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
A little while.
It's been a while.
So.
But yes, we wrap it there, boys.
Yeah.
I feel like we're done.
Decent little race.
Aarav, mate, first of all, thank you for coming on. What are you up to at the minute? Tell everyone watching
what
what's
am
going
I
on
up to at the minute? Well, a lot
world
of
of Aarava
F1
TV.
A lot of F1 gaming, of course. F1 managers just come out. The usual My Team career mode, such and such, and obviously myself and Niran doing some stuff with Quadrant as well.
Indeed, yeah.
But yeah, just playing on. Trying to make the most of the F1 game. It's not been the best F1 game this year, but we make the most of it and try and make the best stories we can in the videos.
Sweet, mate. Well, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you for having me, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
And what about you, Blake? What's going on?
I am ready to get home, break down the data.
he already wants to
nerdy.
leave us.
I'm ready to go home, open up my laptop, get the Python code out, and try to break this down race and drop some YouTube videos on Brrrake F1 about what happened in this race. I'm not entirely sure this one will be that exciting, but back here, sitting here with only the tower and the lap times and gaps, we were reaching a little bit. So it'll be really interesting to see, did Ferrari bottle that with the safety car stop early or the VSC, or did it not? Other than that, playing some F1 Manager on Twitch and just hanging out.
Like F1's such a, there's lots of different ways to follow the sport, right? On a more casual level, on a more kind of extreme detail level, but you're able to take that really detailed, complex information and break it down. So if you want to learn a bit more,
see what you did there.
Exactly. Break it down. Nice.
Yeah, everybody's on brand.
Maybe you can break down how Leclerc literally didn't even make any kind of inroads on the
Actually, I would like a breakdown on that. Actually.
I got you guys.
I
got you
I can see the TikTok now. Why Leclerc never even tried to catch
right
up.
There's a very interesting narrative to understand from this weekend regarding qualifying pace and the Ferrari's pace. And we saw it with the Red Bull flip-flop in Austria. They went from looking pretty good to absolutely degrading out of this planet. So there's some cool stuff to come out from it, even though the race didn't seem that exciting. It was what could have been. So maybe we can talk about that.
well, we're done.
Good stuff. We are done here, ladies and gentlemen. A all right-ish race, a little bit of a damp squid. I always thought it was a damp squid, you know. I thought that was
Squid?
Yes, squid. Is that bad? Is that really bad?
A damp squid.
Is that bad? I always thought that was the phrase.
It lives in the water, so it's going to be...
It's going to be damp. Well,
Yeah, that's
it's
fair,
water
okay.
wet, all that sort of jazz. But so...
But that's considered a delicacy to some.
a damp squid.
Yeah.
I have eaten squid before.
A damp calamari, if you will, of a race. But I hope you all enjoyed it at home. If you did, then feel free to like and subscribe to the channel for more live shows every single race and a podcast every single weekend, which we'll be filming pretty shortly. Hope you all enjoyed. Let us know in the chat and let us know in the comments section. Once again, Aarav and Blake, thank you very much for jumping on the show with us. And Tommo,
see ya.
we will see you next time.
Podcast Tuesday. Don't forget. All right? Get on it.
Tuesday.
Don't flip and forget. Adios, everyone.
Bye.